cracking on. Let's get it going. And we are live for the Sharkies and Dragons game. Hey guys, how you going? So down at BK Sport, we are live for round 15 of the NRL season. We are getting into the back stages now. This is still the middle part of the season, but we're getting closer and closer to the real juicy part where we start to really see teams make a solid on push. However, this is the second bye round of the Origin period, where there is only 5 games this weekend: Thursday, Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. Yes, there's 5 games this weekend with a whole damn well bunch of byes. So maybe I'm a little bit too fired up for the back end of the season, because this is right at the middle point, to be honest with you. Probably after Origin 2 is when you really start to look towards that backward stretch. But look, tonight's going to be an interesting game between the Sharkies and the Dragons. It is going to be interesting because the Sharkies are massive scammers. Oh, they're massive scammers. Massive scammers. I tip you to win the comp pre-season, and you're lucky for me to tip you in this game. And the Dragons, you know, you're on scam alert. You know, this is a match-up here between the fraud alert and the scammers, but the fraud alert not even in the top 10 anymore. Gee whiz, I tell you what is going to happen here tonight? It is going to be interesting. Now, guys, the games this weekend, we do have the Sharks versus the Dragons tonight. Tomorrow, we have the Titans versus Manly. On Saturday, we have 2 games, which is the Knights, Roosters, and the Cowboys and the Dolphins. With Sunday being the Rabbitohs versus the Bulldogs, with the byes being the Broncos, the Eels, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Storm, the Warriors, and the Tigers. And a lot of those games are very relevant. A lot of those byes are very relevant for teams playing this weekend, especially when it comes to the top part of the table. But let's get into the 2 team lineups here today. Then we'll get into the ladder, and then we'll see what you guys are saying in the chat. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. We're super close to Origin Game 2. It's going to be a big stream. Get ready for that one. And, yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in as per as well. But, all right, the Sharks come to this game from 5th position. The Dragons come to this game from 11th position. And it's at Shark Stadium in Sydney, Sharky Park. Now, the ins here for the Sharks, couple big ins. Ronaldo Mulitalo and Toby Rudolph are in, with Billy Burns and KL Ero being out. Ero obviously is a big out there. Fullback is William Kennedy, with the wingers being Sonny Katoa and Ronaldo Mulitalo. Centers of Jesse Ramian and Moeni Hiroti. Nice to see that Mulitalo has stopped playing Fortnite, just so that we can play a game of rugby league here tonight. Yeah, it's nice to see him jump off the Fortnite boy status and get back to Ben Rugby League boy. Now, the 5'8" is Braden Trindle, and the halfback is Nico Hines. The front row forwards are Adam Fanor-Blake and Oregon Kafusi. Number 9 is Blake Brayley. You go to the back row of Brett Nakora and Teague Wilton, with the 13th. So, jeez, I'm going to the 18th man already. The 13, like Cameron McInnes, who is the captain. Go to the interchange, Jesse Colhoun, Siasi Fatalakai, Braden Hamlin-Ueli, and Toby Rudolph, with the 18th man replacement being Daniel Atkinson and Craig Fitzgibbon as the coach. Now, again, Sharks fans, if you ask me why you're on scam right now, it's not scam alert, it's on scam, it's because you scammed me. I tipped you first. I think you have a very balanced roster. You got great wingers. Maybe it's great to see Moeni Hiroti's been moved off the wing, because he's not a winger to save his life. It obviously sucks that KL Ero's not there. You've got a solid enough fullback. Your halves should be better. Your front row forwards are great with Adam Fanor-Blake there, but now it seems like they're still kind of lacking one more beast there. Maybe Toby Rudolph helps them out a little bit, but with that being said, he can be good for an error. The back row is fantastic. The 13 is fantastic. This is a very balanced roster. I don't know why you have been disappointed this season. I really don't. I don't understand it. So this is a big game here for Cronulla to really kind of get themselves back into the winner's circle. 1 second, I'm just going to put some focus. To get themselves back into the winner's circle and put themselves back into the right direction, because recently their track record has just simply not been pretty. You know, they have been expected to win their last couple of games. Okay, I'm going to have to put that on. I'm going to charge that up. That light just went out. Is it fine for now, though? If that light's off? Yeah, the lighting off is fine for now. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry, the thingo light there just turned off. I'm going to quickly go have a look at the Sharks draw recently. So yeah, look, last week they got pumped by the Warriors at Shark Park 40-10, which is a big telling point of where they're at, and a huge telling point there for the Warriors. Had a bye the week before that, but the week before that was when they lost to the Roosters 42-16. So they have lost their last 2 games, and by massive margins. In their last, and you can even go back to the 3rd game, in their last 2 games, they've conceded 40 plus points. 40 to the Warriors and 42 to the Roosters. And this is a team that was the 2nd best defensive team in the competition last year, and also was one of the best defensive teams in the comp this year until recent. And then even if you go back a week before that, when they beat the Storm 31-26, they still gave up 26 points. So in their last 3 games here, Cronulla, They've given up 26, 42, so that's 52, 62, 68, plus the 40. They've given up 108 points in their last 3 games. 108 points in their last 3 games. Now, yes, look, provided contextually, they have played some good teams in the Warriors and the Storm, and the Roosters very 50-50, but the Roosters also had 5 of their starters out for this game because it was the week of Origin. So this is not good signs for your defense. Like, even if you think that you are still a team that is going to be competitive this season, this period has been rough. And even in that game against the Storm where the Sharks won 31-26, they gave up 26 points. 108 points through their last 3 games is just absolutely obscene. And against Manly, they gave up 14 points when they won 30-14. But, you know, that's 122 points in their last 4 games. You know, so that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know, man. It's super rough times in Cronulla, but I do expect them to be better. And there's no excuses for them today. There is no excuses against the Dragons. Now, let's go to their ins. Hamaisele, Nick Sugranis, and Tyrell Sloan. There must be a debutant here tonight for the Dragons. With the outs being Christian Tuipulotu, Raymond Fatalamarina, and Valentine Holmes. Obviously, Val is out with Origin. The fullback is Clint Gutherson, who is the captain, with the wingers being Nathan Lawson and Tyrell Sloan, who comes back. Centres are Moses Sully, and debutant, I believe, is Nick Tugranis. You go to the 5'8", Lycan King Tangia, with the halfback being Carl Flanagan. Front row forwards are Emre Gula and David Clemmer. Number 9 is Damien Cook. You go to the back row of Lucian Leilua and Toby Couchman, with the 13 being Jack DeBellin. Interchange is Jacob Little. Don't know why he's still on the 14. Hamish Stewart, Locke Pacific Tonga, and Hame Sele, with the 18th man replacement being Blake Laurie and the coach being Shane Flanagan. For anyone who doesn't know my opinion on Jacob Little, it's not that I'm saying that he shouldn't be in the team, it's that I think that he should be in the team. I think he should be the number 9. I think Damien Cook is, unfortunately, still being seen by the Dragons as what he was 3-4 years ago when he was absolutely in his prime. I think that Jacob Little currently is the better hooker in the Dragons, and I'm baffled as to why Jacob Little actually doesn't start and then bring Damien Cook off in as that 14. I didn't even understand why they bought Damien Cook in the first place when we could see that Jacob Little was actually doing pretty well for the Dragons. But then again, I'm not the one. It doesn't matter to me what you guys do in St. George, but I just disagree with that selection personally. Obviously, your halves are going to be in question. That's always going to happen. Carl Flanagan, Lycan King Tagia. I saw that Lachlan Elias was originally on the extended bench, but obviously has not been able to make the team here today. It's interesting that Carl Flanagan continues, but obviously we know that situation. Look, I'm really worried about the Dragons because I put them into 8th position pre-season, and I think they could still get there. But at the end of the day, I always argue, and well, not argue with, but I tell Knights fans, I'm like, it's all well and good to be able to compete for the 8. It's all well and good to get into the 8, but ultimately we want to win a premiership. So if you're not going to win a premiership, it's realistically a failed season. It realistically is. I understand contextually, like say for example, if a Titans or an Eels or a Knights or whatnot, if they made it, you know, you'd maybe not the Knights because they've been there recently, but the Titans and who's another team down the bottom area of the table, and the Tigers, Titans and Tigers, teams like that, if they make the 8 and they get bounced out first week, like they'd be happy with it based off of recent history. But ultimately, you want to win the premiership. So if you're not building towards a premiership, kind of what is the point of just kind of mulling around that top 8 area, just getting in and getting knocked out in the first week, or just getting past the second week and getting whooped in the second week, the first week, and then getting whooped in the second week. So that's the biggest issue with the Dragons right now, is their process of actually changing this team into a winning team in the future. And I feel like they've gone super kind of towards the older side. I think Gutho has been really good for them this season. Gutho has been a great signing for them. There's nothing wrong with that. Their 2 through 5 concerns me. Their 6 and 7 concerns me no end. Their front rowers are very average comparatively with the rest of the competition. A billion times better than me as players, but very average comparatively with the rest of the competition. Damien Cook's best days are behind him. The back row is okay. I do like a bit of Couchman, but it's nothing out of this world. Lucian Leilua and Toby Couchman. I do like Jack DeBellin, but no kind of superior X factor there. And then their bench is just a little bit all over the shop. So they're a team that will win some games, and they're a team that will lose some games. And I just don't know what their process is going forward to actually change this team into a winning formula team. So today, I am going to tip the Sharks today. I'm going to tip the Cronulla Sharks. If you lose this game, Cronulla, listen here, listen up, Cronulla, if you lose this fucking game, I give up on you. I'm done. I'm crossing your name out. I'm saying you're off. You're out. If you lose this game, Cronulla, I give up on you. You're done. You're finished. Cross your name out on the ladder over here, and I don't want to hear a single complaint from a Sharks fan. If you lose this game here today, you have basically got a full team. You have no origin outs. Kale Iro is the only realistic starter that is out of your team, but you're still bringing back a Renato Maratala, Fortnite boy. You got like basically a full-strength team here. Pretty much a full-strength team. You are at home. Now, I'm aware that you haven't won a finals game here since 2008, so it's not like big games are something that you want to be hosting at Shark Park, to be fair. But I think this is a big game for you. You're going to lose this game, Grenada. Shit, man. Dear me. So I take Sharks here, but I also wouldn't be surprised if the Dragons win. But I tell you, Sharks, dearie me. Tip your preseason first and you bloody scam me. In regards to the ladder, you've got the Dragons in 11th position on 14 points. They are on a absolute whirlwind. There is a lot of teams here on 14 points, which is the Dolphins, the Broncos, Manly, Roosters, Dragons, and the Rabbitohs. Now, they have the second worst points differential of all those teams with a minus 47. The Rabbitohs have a minus 82. The Roosters have a minus 22. The Manly Seagulls have a plus 42. The Broncos have a plus 44, and the Dolphins have a plus 92. Now, is there any buys there? Yes, the Broncos have a buy. So the Dragons will not be able to go above the Broncos this week unless they won by about 100. Quite literally, about 100. So good luck with that one, Dragons. You win that. If the Sharks lost this game by 100, I think I'm stopping streaming. I think I stop streaming. If the Dragons won this game by 100, I think I stop. I think I'm done. I think that'd do me. I think that'd possibly do me. So yeah, the Dragons aren't going above the Bronx, but for the time being, they would go above the Roosters and also Manly and also the Dolphins and also the Cowboys down 15 points, and they would go equal with the Sharks down 16 points in 5th position, which is a crazy thought process. But with their minus 47, obviously Roosters and Manly playing Knights and Titans are more than likely going to jump back above them. And then one of the Dolphins and Cowboys will win their game, but one of them will obviously lose their game. So the highest the Dragons can technically go this weekend is 7th position, unless they get a massive win against Cronulla. They would have to win by 30 to 40 to switch that points differential around and actually go above the Sharks here this weekend, because they're plus 14, they're minus 47. They'd have to win by like 30 to 40 points, realistically, which, again, I doubt is happening. But look, Cowboys and Dolphins, one of them will win, so they will go into 7th for the time being. No, they will go into 8th, actually, for the time being, because that Broncos bye. So they just have to go for the Titans and Knights to get wins over Manly or the Roosters, or they will finish in the exact same position. Or they'll finish in the exact same position, man. No, sorry. At minimum, they would got one spot because they would go above the Dolphins or the Cowboys. So they would go to at least 10th. If they lost this game, however, they would have to lose today by about 36 points to go below the Rabbitohs. They're on minus 82. And then you've got the Panthers with a bye, and you've also got the Tigers with a bye. Now, the Panthers would immediately jump above them, so they would go down to 12th. Again, the Rabbitohs play the Bulldogs this week. I don't have the Rabbitohs to beat the Bulldogs, but if they did, then the Dragons would go down to 13th. But the Tigers are on minus 62, which is a 15 points differential switch from the Dragons at minus 47 to minus 62. So you'd have to see a 15 points differential switch, a 15-point loss here for the Dragons for the Tigers to go below them, which isn't necessarily out of the equation if the Sharks actually play to their full potential here. There is a world where they do go into the bottom 4 here. Now, the Knights are also on minus 65. This table is so close. The Knights are on 12 points as well. They play the Roosters. So if the Dragons lose this game by... Say the Dragons lose by 10 points and then the Knights would have won by 8 points themselves over the Roosters, then the Dragons would actually potentially drop down into 15th position. They would go. They can either with a win go equal 5th, or they will drop into 15th with a loss potentially. That's what can happen on this table right now. So it tells you how crazy this competition at the moment. The Dragons can either jump into equal 5th, or they can drop to 15th today. Or this weekend. Not today, but this weekend. That tells you how crazy it is. For the Sharks on the other side, they're in 5th position with 16 points. They're the only team on 16 points, and they've got 14 points differential. Now, the teams above them, the Storm, they're on 20 points in 4th. That's 4 points above. They've got a bye. The Warriors also have a bye on 22 points, and the Raiders also have a bye on 22 points. So the Dogs are the ones watching their game. They've got to win their game on Sunday. Otherwise, they will drop out of the. They'll be actually out of first position until Sunday when the Raiders get their bye points here due to points differential. But the Sharks cannot jump above. They can the highest they can go is still 4 points below the Storm because, again, the Storm, Warriors, and the Raiders all get buys. So the highest you can finish is 5th Sharks. You've done it to yourselves recently. Now, if you lose this game, however, oh, geez, you're in trouble. If you lose this game, you could be in some serious trouble at Cronulla. So the Cowboys, they play the Dolphins. Actually, one of the Cowboys or Dolphins will jump above you. Yeah, because the Cowboys are on 15 points. Their points differential is minus 52. It's awful. But it doesn't matter because they've got a buy. Not a buy. It doesn't matter because they've got the different points due to their draw with the Panthers. So if the Cowboys won, they would go above them. If the Dolphins won, they got a plus 92 right now. So your points differential plus 14 is not going to help you there. You're vulnerable right now. Sharks just like what the Warriors were until they got to slap up a few guys. So the Dolphins or Cowboys would go above, so you'd go minimum into 6th position. Obviously, you wouldn't drop below one of the teams who lose there. The Broncos have a bye, so they right now will jump actually above you with their plus 44. So you will go down right now to 7th. Manly play the Titans. If Manly win and you lose, you will go down to 8th position because they've got a plus 42. The Roosters, they've got a minus 22, so you would have to lose by a little bit. But they also play the Knights, so if they won that game by about 30 points and you lost by 4, then you also go out of the top 8. So this is a massive game here for Cronulla, man. This is a huge game. You can really seriously start to fall apart. Again, if you lose by about 30 points, 30, 40 points, you actually go below the Dragons. You're in some scary times. So Cronulla, I tell you what, you lose this game, I throw my computer out of the I throw my computer out of the window here. I tell you what. But alright, guys, there you go. That is the little wrap up of today's game. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get ready to rock and roll here as the Sharkies take on the Dragons, and let's open up the Chatola. And go the Aussies in the WTC, eh? Dearie me. Stark, what a man. What a beautiful man, the old Starky. Beautiful man. Olivia, I can't even see your donation right now. Hold on. How do I see this? I can't actually. I can see there's like a blue at the top of my screen, but the poll is removing it. Olivia, thank you very much for your donation. I think it says got my heated blanket on. We are set. Well, appreciate your donation, Olivia. I have actually no idea how much you've sent there. So, whatever you sent, whether it be 1 cent or $1 trillion, maybe the $1 trillion might have been the best one. I can't actually see it, but I thank you very much for your donation. Olivia says, also, can YouTube stop being so sucky and let me use the $8 donation again? That'd be great. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on there. JDK says, aren't you able to choose how much you wish to donate? I think YouTube, there's like certain categories or something? I'm not too sure. $8 donation is usable for me. Wonder why you've got issues with it. I think they're just picking on Olivia because she's a Broncos fan. I reckon it's a Broncos fan. I think that's it. You're annoying already and the stream has only started. Oh no, he's on to him already, Jay. Jasmine says, Jacob Little first ever 2-point field goal. Brocky says, oh, hello, Brocky. Teddy Tarek says, how's it going? It's my birthday tomorrow. Well, you can let us know tomorrow. We'll be live for the Titans-Manly game. Then again, it's probably better that you did let us know today because I'm not going to be in a great mood tomorrow because the Titans are the Titans. So, happy birthday for tomorrow. You come back tomorrow. JDK says, which team do you bag for? They might be playing tomorrow. Well, I hope it's... I hope not really. Tanking for Cooper Flag. The Titans are tanking for Cooper Flag right now. Mitchell says, Tigers and the Titans are the only teams that should be happy to make the 8. Anyone else, and that's just sad. Yeah, I would say... You're probably right, actually. No, I wouldn't say it's sad for Knights fans who... I get it. I do get it. But there's a lot of context involved with the Knights. But I get what you mean. I would slightly agree. Actually, no, the Dolphins is only 3 years into their tenure. Like, they should be happy to be anywhere, really. They should be happy if they can get into the top 8. Like the Titans in their 3rd year in the competition came 3rd. So, you know, if they keep playing like they are right now, maybe they'll be able to push themselves up there. But they are still... 3 wins away from the top 4 and 4 wins away from the Raiders and the Warriors. And if they were to lose to the Cowboys today, then those teams go to an extra 2 points above them there, which would be looking to see that out. But not every week you get to play the Dragons. The Dragons had 56 points put past them by the Dolphins last week. So don't worry, Sharks fans, you can't talk too much shit because you had 40 points put past the Warriors. Olivia says, if they lose this game, I'll call them Harks. I tell you what, Olivia. Sharks, let's go. Flip out. I might flip out. Jasmine says Dragons upset. You're upsetting me by that comment. JDK says they also have a bye, the Riff. I think you might be right, Jay. I think you might be right. Where did Riff come into this conversation? Where did Penrith come into this conversation? Josh? Hey? We on to you, son. We on to you, buddy. Olivia says, yeah, I don't know. I have this feeling the Dragons are going to win today. Yeah, no, it's a local rivalry. It's a local derby. You know, this is the Shire. So both the Sharks and Dragons, I don't think this rivalry is too crazy red hot or whatnot. But at the end of the day, the Dragons do have a decent enough record against Cronulla, I think. I think they do. Dragons fans can probably tell me that they do or don't. Ben says, so the Dragons are around the field now. Ben, what do you think is wrong with the Sharks at the moment? Is it a coaching problem or something else? They did pretty well last season, but now they seem like a different team. Well, the Sharks have done the same thing for years now, where they are very competitive against the lower-ranked teams throughout the season, and then when it comes to the finals, they throw it away. You know, they've lost their since 2008, they have not won a finals game in Shark Park, and they won the comp in 2016, mind you. And then you've also got... what else? They've lost their last 3 straight games in a row in the finals, and they've been top 4 last couple of years. Anyway, long story short, they've been really disappointing. They've been super disappointing when it comes to the finals. That's right, I've already read that comment. Ben says, well, I've already read that comment too. Geez, I just must have skipped up to the top. I skipped up to the top there. So what does the Sharks have to slap this lot today, or it's embarrassing? I don't think they need to slap them. I just think they need to get 2 points. I think they just need to get 2 points. I don't think they really care too much. But with the $160 dude, don't see it on. I can see that one. I can see that. Yes, I can see that one. I can see that one. Again, your comment was like your previous donation was hidden by the poll, so it just wasn't showing like how much was there. It just was showing your actual kind of like. You'll come underneath. But the Sharks have kicked off here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you very much, Olivia. That always goes a long way. Appreciate your support of this channel. Brocky says, Sharks 13 plus, Paul Gallen for a hat-trick, and Cristiano Ronaldo anytime try scorer. Thank you, Brocky, for that really intellectual comment. Really intellectual comment, that one. Really intellectual comment. Brilliant stuff. That's so funny. How do I stop laughing? How's Penrith going? When Penrith got brought up, I was like, where did Penrith come into this? 4th tackle now for the Dragons. They'll be at the 35 on their own side of the field, and it'll be Gutherson now to the 40 on 5th tackle. Dasmate says, Sharks have been flat track bullies every year since Johnny Sins became coach. I don't know what the problem with the Sharks. I think that the issue with the Sharks is that they have good players in their spine, but they don't necessarily have a leader in their spine. And Nico is meant to be. Oh, so the Sharks have won the past 9 against the Dragons, so I was completely incorrect. The Dragons don't have a good record against Cronulla. They need a leader in their spine. Nico isn't a halfback for mine. Again, he's a 5'8", and I think that Braden Trindle and him do switch between the 6 and the 7 quite a bit. So it's very difficult to say. I don't know. They can work together and they can't work together. Their fullback is very good in parts, but can be also very poor in parts too. And Blake Bradley has never really come on as the hooker that we were kind of expecting him to be. So I don't know. I think it is more of a spinal issue, but if I'm more so looking at something specific, I would. Boska! Gutho slapped down at the 10. Good kick there from Cronulla. First tackle for the Dragons at the 10. I think it is realistically that they don't have a leader in their halves right now, and they don't have defined halves in their positions. Trindle grew up playing as a 7, and I'm pretty certain Nico Hines actually grew up playing as a fullback, and I know he played fullback at the Storm, but I just see him more as a 6 than a 7. I don't think he's a leader, and I don't think that Trindle necessarily is actually a leader as well that can lead the team into a competition to win the competition. I don't know. It's a very difficult kind of subject, but they've gone all in with Nico. I understand that he won the Dally M Halfback of the Year a couple of years ago. I understand that he won Dally M a couple of years ago, but I don't know. I think it's pretty evident as the years go on that they do need a little bit of a switcheroo. A little bit of a switcheroo when it comes to how their halves are situated. Second tackle now for Cronulla. They'll be at the 35 on their own side of the field. Sharks, no bald man, no win. There's the secret recipe. Well, their coach is bald, so I don't know what you're talking about. So out of the right-hand side, Nico Hines gives it to Jesse Ramey. And maybe it is because, and here's a big maybe, the Sharks haven't played in the rain too much, and they need wet-head Nico. Blake Bradley with a great run here. He'll get himself inside the attacking half. 45 metres out here from the Dragons line. Olivia coming in clutch with the donos. Olivia coming in clutch. Olivia is clutch. You know, we can be friends again this week, Olivia. Okay, we can be friends again this week. Last week, no friend. No friend last week. But this week, we're good to go again. Dragons grab the ball and get slapped back to the 13 through Britt Nakora and Siona Katoa. If we lose the Isha, I'm telling you, if you lose the Dragons, I might crash out, and I'm not even a Sharks fan. I might simply crash out. I might crash out. Like, I had a full 80 minutes worth of crash out for that Titans versus Broncos game. It might happen again, but for the Sharks this time. Get around Jay doing his job. Jay's on it, mate. Jay's never not on it. The only time Jay's not on it is when he's trying to tell me that Perth isn't, closer to Beijing than the East Coast, which is just a fact at this point. We've gone over this for years now. He just doesn't listen. He's not a big listener. Not a massive listener. So the Sharks now get this ball to the 25. Re-signed James Maloney. Thank you, Daz, mate. Thank you, Daz, mate. The old James Maloney. What a man. A. Williams says, wow, Uncle Blaze leaves the country. That's a penalty. The Sharks here at the 30. First penalty of the game. Uncle Blaze leaves the country for 5 minutes and the Titans are genuine wooden spooners. Sorry, by the way. I'm sorry to Titans fans who have to put up with this alongside me. I am sorry that, unfortunately, our team just is never able to get it done for you. So, don't worry, man. I've been there for 3 straight years in a row of 4th last and going to every single game. I'm pretty happy to be getting fit and getting healthy in Thailand right now. Being able to travel through India and then get to go to Vietnam in about 2 weeks and see my dad. And then I don't know where I'm going after that. So, no, I'm enjoying life at the moment, man. Just wish that the Titans were a little bit better, man. A little bit better. 3rd tackle now for the Sharks at the 40. Braden Trindle rolls it back. They go out to Nico Hines at the 40. Then off to Britt Nakora. And Nakora will be at the 35. Oh, thank you, Jay. Wow, he does his job 6 minutes into the game. Unbelievable, Jay. 6 minutes into the game, he reminds me to refresh the score. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Mr. Hayes. Oh, my gosh. He's just ridiculous, that bloke. 4th tackle now for Cronulla. They're going to be 15 metres out from the line. 15 metres out. Cameron McKenna's up to Adam Fanor-Blake. Fanor-Blake back here to Trindle. Trindle kicks this ball into the corner. Good chase here by Montalvo. I think that's a knock-on from the Dragons. No one touched it, so it's just Dragons ball to 1. I swear that was a knock-on for the Dragons. Am I drunk? Am I drunk? It's only 5 o'clock here on a Thursday here in Thailand, but I'm pretty certain I must be drunk for that not to be called a knock-on. I feel like I must be drunk. Don't worry, guys. I must be an alcoholic. I don't really drink much. I never really have, but must be. I just must be at this point because I'm pretty certain I just saw a knock on. I am going to try and put this this light on charge though because it is getting darker over here, which will mean it's bad lighting. So 5th tackle, and that was Leilua who kicked that ball down to the 10. It actually ended up being a pretty good kick. As it says, you in Thailand, I am. I'm in Hua Hin. Did my Muay Thai today, did my HIIT workout, went to the gym. Buddy, rocking and rolling, mate. We are rocking and rolling. 2nd tackle now for the Sharks, and they're at their 45. Good to see Molitalo has turned up to his part-time job instead of streaming Fortnite. Yeah, no, nice to see him out there for once. Also nice of me to grab the wrong charging point. Now 3rd tackle, 4th tackle leave at Cronulla at the 35 on the Dragon side of the field. They've definitely got a little bit more of the advantage of the field position. Nothing too spectacular though. Adam Fanor-Blake, Nico Hines, Britt Nakora, good run. He's still going 20 metres out. Back to Siona Katoa, and Katoa's at 15 metres away now. 33 minutes to go the first half. In case there's no poll today. There's very clearly a poll in the chat, mate. So Nico Hines will get that one up. Sharks knock it back. Will Kennedy out of the left, and this is going to be a try here from Wani Hiroti, but I will say there may be a concern if a player has been taken out here from the Dragons. There may be a concern. There may be a drag. Yeah, I don't know about obstruction, Sunder, but I think that a Sharks player bumps. Yeah, it's definitely going to be no try. It's Molitalo, you're silly. You're silly, mate. You're silly. You're a silly man. Maybe he should have just stayed to play Fortnite. Maybe. I think that might have been the case. I think that might have been the play, Fortnite boy. I think it's maybe time to go back to the Fortnite arena. Because that, my friend, is a no try. Well, it should be a no try any moment now. Should be. It's blatant. It's blatant. Santa said I tipped the Sharks, but they're on fraud alerts. I'm not confident. Santa, does this look like they're on fraud alert? They look like they're on fraud alert. I don't know why we're not even looking at the bunker here. Why is the bunker taking so long? Oh. Surely. Thank you, Grant Atkins. We're only about 3 hours late. Scam alert. No, there's no alert, Sunday. You got to start reading. You got to start thinking here, Sunday. You got to start reading and thinking, and it's very clearly a bump off. So this will be a no try and a penalty to the Dragons. Do you do MMA in Thailand? Yeah, I've been doing Muay Thai. Yeah. Excuse me, says you must have voted already, Casey. Yeah, someone obstructed the poll. They did, yes. I take that back. Go back to Fortnite. That's what I was saying, Mitchell. So no try there, Molotalo. And it will be no try to Morning Hiroti. Molotalo was the one who gave away the penalty, and the Dragons will kick this ball to about the 25. I need Molotalo or Katoa for first try, so no try. Well, there's no try. Shoulder to shoulder, ref, play on. Yeah, no, just forget the whole intention of the bump off there. The huge little bump off there. Massive. Lewis says, did you hear about the plane crash in India? No, I haven't. No, I didn't know. Whereabouts? India's a very big country, so it's a very important question. Whereabouts? Was it like in the north, or was it the south, or up in the far north, northeast or something? Dragons now, 4th tackle. They'll be at the 45 on, fourth. How long did it take for the ref to make a decision? About 30 years. So, Clemmer, basically the same amount of time as it took for you to comment that 5 minutes after we were talking about it. 5th tackle for the Dragons at the 38. They give it to Lycan King Tingiga. That's his name. And Sione Katoa gets taken down to the 5. I always get confused why, not Sharks players, why players catch the ball, it's going to be a penalty to Cronulla, so it'll help them out massively. I always get confused why they run sideways backwards when the opposition line is already up in your face. You're not going to get around them. There's no possible outcome if you're getting around them, and you're probably going to lose 1, 2, 3 meters. I don't really understand it. Oh, in Ahmedabad. Wow. Okay, that was pretty close to where I was, actually. Damn. Who you got? Wisman versus Buckley. I got you winning. Casey says, hey, Jay, never know. Could have been your old crop duster crash. I don't even know what's happening here. All right, so the Sharks now at the 45 on second tackle. 10 minutes in here. Completion rate both 100%. 10 minutes in. Hit that like button and subscribe. And now it's going to be 6 again for the Sharks. Adam Blake needs to have a much better game this week. He wasn't really too seen last week. He wasn't able to have a good game against his old team. Blake Brayley's away here. Blake Brayley back on the inside. Brad Trindle. He gets it off to him. And that, my friends, will be a try. Good attempt there from the Dragons defender. But it will be a try for Braden Trindle right next to the post to the left. And it will be 4-0 here with a kick to come to Cronulla. Shaggy Shark. Go boom. And Braden Trindle, I didn't even see the pass. I thought that once Blake Brayley, who started off really well here, once he came through, I didn't actually see this pass. I saw that it was going to be, I saw Braden Trindle on the inside of him, but I actually didn't see the pass. So I was thinking, oh, he made the wrong decision. But no, he did get the pass away, and it is a try for Braden Trindle. And you can't take that one away from him. Bunker. You're not needed here, buddy. If Cook was playing centre, he could have saved that try. Well, Damien Cook did pretty well to try and hold him up at least. Dragons going to get walks probably. Why? Sharks have had 112 or 108 points put past them in the last 3 weeks. I've tipped the Sharks here, but then again, I'm never convinced from Cronulla because it's a scam. Poor Jag. I hope Sam's holding his hand. Terry me, the old Jag. God bless him. Nico Hines will bang it in. So it is 6-0 to the Shaggy Sharks. Yeah, if Cook was playing centre, he's probably already scored 3 tries by now, I reckon. Maybe 4 tries by now, Damien Cook in the centres. That's his best position. That's his very clear best position. New South Wales know it. But happy for Brayley there. Like I've always thought Brayley was going to be one of the better hawkers in the competition. He's just never really been able to come on with him, like come on as a player that I've been expecting. So really good to see it. Blizz says enough of this ad. What ad are you talking about? Enough of what ad? Sharks win. Does that mean they go back to being frauds? No, because they're playing the Dragons. Play a decent enough team, then sure. quite a decent enough team. It'd be very funny with my channel if you don't have like the premium YouTube and you get ads and then you get like the Telstra ad when your team's getting slapped and I'm like talking shit about them. That would be just mind-blowingly frustrating to deal with. The Dragons right now are just giving away too many penalties, getting the Sharks off their own line. Jake's doing his best Sapello impersonation. Sapello was the most random. It was like MH370. Like it just disappeared. Sapello just disappeared out of nowhere. Just disappeared absolutely out of nowhere. I don't get the Telstra ad. Good, Jay. You don't want to. You don't want to. The whistling in that ad, though. No, well, he's very well aware, mate. He's aware of the ad, Ben. He's very, very well aware. So it's going to be the Dragons who grab this ball at the 15, and Gutho gives it back to Nathan Lawson to the 25. Wow, Jay, you're living the dream. Oh, I thought he was saying he doesn't get it. No, okay, I get now. I bet you just don't get it. Okay, maybe Perth is the place to live. Maybe Western Australia, being another country, doesn't get that because the Kiwis come to this channel and they say, "Oh, I never get the Telstra ad." So now I get it. So now we've confirmed it that Western Australia, Perth, is not Australia. That's why it's Western Australia and not Australia. You see, Queensland doesn't have Australia in it because that's Australia. New South Wales, we wish they weren't Australia, but they are in Australia. Then you got South Australia, yeah, we'll accept them, but Western Australia, shit, man. Dear me. You're so far away from us that I don't even know if you speak the same language as us over there. So the Sharks will grab the ball at the 10, run another Montalto's away here. He's away at the 20. Oh, we've seen some bum action. And now we'll get this ball to the 30 on first tackle. Jay gets CCP ads, though. Jay does get that. Jay says, I get the pump up the jam ad. Takes me back to the 90s. That was some of your best years, Jay, weren't they, when you were 70? Some good years in Thailand when you were 70, AJ. That's the norm around here. Sunday says, I caved in and just buy YouTube Premium. I watch too much YouTube and the ads are ridiculous. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, I have it on balance, so you can, when you do, when you have your own channel, Sharks all the way, they're already in the attack on 30. Oregon Kafusi then gets the offload away, and then it hits Grass McGrath, some Dally M points. Dally M points there. But you can do, like, light, you can do balanced, you can do aggressive, and I put it on balance. And I still think that's quite a bit. So premium is worth it, to be fair. Especially if you do watch YouTube a lot. Dragons grab it, and they'll be taken down at 3. Jay says, we have emus here. We don't care. Send in the SAS. You lost one over there. Man, I think it was 61,000 people died of the emus, didn't they? 61,000 people? Wow. Well, I think that's why we separated, because we were like, you couldn't even beat emus over there. Gee whiz. And penalty to the Dragons. Levy says, I'm going to support the Bears and move to Perth. You're very lucky I didn't time you out for that. Casey says, I missed the old skip ad work around before they patched it. Skip ad work? I don't even know what you're talking about. So penalty to the Dragons. Tackle after your tackle held. They'll get themselves out of the 10. Oh, fun story, by the way. I was walking around here in Hua Hin the other day and ran into one of you guys. Ran into someone who watches a bit of the channel. He's a Newcastle fan. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did say this to him. Because I remember he said to me, you support the wrong team. And I said, obviously I'm Titans. And he goes, I said, who's your team? He goes, no. I said, we beat you twice this year, mate. We beat you twice. But he was a good bloke, man. He was a good bloke. Gave me some good tips around here and good expat bars and whatnot. But it's crazy going to a country you've never been before and then someone watching your streams and your content from Thailand. Desmond says, yeah, it was me. Mate, you haven't left the country in your life. The only place you've left is Belmore to go to Canterbury. So 4 tackle, and they'll go from the 30 to the 25. The furthest you've actually gone is Lincoln, because I saw you in Lincoln that day. Damien Cookie! That's a nice little break! Damien Cookie with try time! That's all for defence there from Cronulla. No wonder they've given up about 112 points in 3 weeks. All for defence there from Cronulla, and it will be 6-4 with a kit to come. Sunday says, I miss YouTube when it didn't have ads. I still remember some of the OG YouTubers. Me. To be fair, though, when I started doing like content, it wasn't serious, but when I started doing content, there wasn't any NRL YouTubers besides maybe like Luke, the Dogs fan, who does like rugby league live content. There used to be a guy called Fletch who did some stuff as well. He ended up turning into a bit of a weirdo, but Then there was some other people as well. Roasty was there at the start too. Roasty. But like it wasn't. It's crazy how many people now do content comparatively to when I was starting out. Yeah, Jars. Yeah, the old Jars. He's still cracking on, isn't he? I think Jackson's still cracking on. But I don't think he's ever been really like serious about growing it and making it into anything. I think he just does it for a bit of fun and to have someone to talk to during the games and whatnot. Lidcombe is a different country. Oh wow. Oh wow, I didn't realise. Must be close out there to Perth where Jay is. But that's a really good step in there from Damien Cook. So the criticism that I have for him, well, he's just thrown that back in my face. Yeah, that was Fletcher's sharp bloke as a weirdo. No, he was a Broncos fan, actually. He was a Broncos fan. Hadahoni Whipperatus is up the Warriors. I'm trying to think of other... Warriors aren't playing today. They're also not playing this weekend, Hadahoni. Not playing this weekend, the Wires. So Kyle Flanagan here. Can he get the kick? He will make it. So 6-6. 17 minutes in. 6-6. What was I saying? I'm trying to think of other like OG NRL content creators that were around in like 2015 when I originally started out. Because like again, it wasn't like serious back then. Like now I'm super consistent since about like 2020, 2021 kind of deal, but around then there really wasn't much. Some of those OG YouTubers turned into some crazy people because no one really back then no one knew how to handle themselves because everyone's just regular people. They're just regular people who have had like that kind of success, and then they get recognized and they don't know how to handle it. Like that's some of the biggest YouTubers in the world have gone through some significant controversies, man. Wouldn't be NRL if you didn't get that one bloke saying up the wires. That's true. It's turning into the random Rabbitohs fan. Grego still going hard. Grego? Who's Grego? No, he just does it very rare now. He keeps to himself. Even at games, doesn't go in the cove anymore. Well, didn't he have problems with the cove because he was filming inside there? Don't worry, I had my issues doing a Wanderers game once. So fit tackle now for the Dragons at the 45. They did apologise and stuff like that. They did apologise with the RBB. It was a bit of a 50-50. It was my fault, but also it was just aggressive and whatnot, which didn't need to happen. But again, they apologised. I understand why football fans are very annoyed with content creators coming in and just filming, especially after what happened with like the FFA and whatnot. Was as an insult. Yeah, Warriors fans have changed it around though. They have. It originally was. Third tackle now for Cronulla at the 35. Olivia says that watch me whip Nene guy is a criminal now. Got sentenced to jail for 30 years. I know what whip and Nene thing is, but I don't know who the guy is. So good running by Blake Brayley. Jeez, he's having a good game, Blake. He's having a really good game. And then Cameron McKenna, he'll bring this ball to about the 37 or so on fit tackle. 18 minutes in. All you have to say is Logan Paul to understand how, the fame can get to your head. So the ball will bounce over the top. That actually worked out really well. And then it's going to be Sugranis, I think his name is, who grabs the ball. Yeah, Sugranis. So Dragons now to the 28 on second tackle. Warriors are in 3. Thank you, Hadahoni. Again, Warriors not playing today. Oh, that's a knock on. No, apparently not. Again, Warriors aren't playing today, and also Warriors are not playing this weekend. So why are we talking about them now in the Sharkies Dragons? So they're going to get taken down in Moses Sully. They've got a good run, though. They've got good meters in this set. Fourth tackle now for the Dragons, and now they're going to be at the 30. They give it off to David Clemmer, and he'll be 25 metres out fit tackle. Logan Paul is my favourite WWE fighter. To be fair, he does some good work in WWE. Yeah, I know he does. Oh, I've heard it anyway. I've never been massively into WWE, but I've been looking at it and watching it from afar recently. 20 minutes in here to the first half, 20 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. We'll be live for every single game this weekend and a big old stream next Wednesday for State of Origin as Queensland look to try and level series to take it to a Game 3 in Sydney at Accor Stadium where they won last year, mind you. Hey? Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Sharks now, fourth tackle to the 30. He has a reason though, Olivia. Look at Justin Bieber. His post at the moment is just odd. Yeah, he does have a reason, Jay. Alright, so Brett Nakora gives it out to Nico Hines. Good offload there from Nakora. And good from Hines not to drop that ball. Does just make sure if Logan Paul tries to offer you crypto advice, just say no. This may be a penalty here. No, it's not. They're not going to say penalty. I thought there was a late hit there on Braden Trindle. The timing's okay. Well, then what about last week? Why was the timing not okay last week? That's the exact same kind of hit as last week, though. It's like we saw, was it Luai? Cook doesn't finish the tackle. I'm sorry, I don't understand how that's not a penalty for last week's was a penalty against Jerome Luai. How on earth is that not a penalty, but the Jerome Luai one was? Just wild, man. Had to be consistent. No, Luai in the Tigers game changed the whole game. Again, I don't think the Tigers will win that game, but yeah, I would say that that was a pretty big call. The Dragons will get taken down at the 40 on third tackle. That's okay, but the Luai one wasn't. Exactly right. Dragons out. King Tungia looking for a hole. Can't get through it. Had the offload, but no one followed him through. Fourth tackle now. And Leilua plays it from the dummy. Dragons have got a bit of momentum at the moment. Blake Brayley's clearly been the best player in the game, but the Dragons have got a bit of momentum. Oh, yeah, the Hawk Tour girl with the crypto scam. No, she's not. She's not still missing. Oh, Will Kennedy's made a mistake there. There's a knock on from Will Kennedy. So Dragons are going to get the ball 15 minutes out. No, she's still doing her doing stuff on social media. She went away for a long time, though. She went away for a couple of months, sorry. I shouldn't say a long time. Kennedy has been terrible lately. And, you know, so are the days of our lives. Well, Kennedy is very good and also very not good and balances out. Sometimes he can score 4 tries in a game, and then other times he can have 4 knock-ons in the first half. All right, Dragons now, 15 minutes out. 11 from 11 completions for the Dragons, 12 from 13 for Cronulla. So Dragons, King Tagia gives it to Clemmer, and Clemmer's 15 metres away. Is he still leading the Dally M? So Seb Watson, the Dally M's went behind closed doors, I think, just before round 13 or just after round 13, which is about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And it was Luke Metcalf who was actually leading the Dally M's at the time, the halfback for the New Zealand Warriors. Second tackle here at the 10. They go out to the right. Damien Cook to King Tagia. Underneath to Emre Gula. And Gula, third tackle, 5 metres away from the line. Damien Cook gets it to Flanagan. Flanagan out to King Tagia. They flick it out again. Lawson. Oh, it's good defense there from Nico Hines. He's just saved a guaranteed try there. That was a brilliant try-7 tackle from Nico. Still his fault, though, apparently. So, Clemmer on fit tackle now, 10 metres out. Fit tackle. Damien Cook to the right. Jack to Bellin. Flanagan over the top. Good pass, good pass. Sloan will get taken over the sideline. Where's the ball? Oh, the Sharks are away! What happened there? How'd the Sharks get the ball? And they got the offload away. And Teague Wilton is now at the 22. How did that even happen? I don't even know how that happened. The women's NRL, I think, starts in July, no? I think we've got about 3 weeks until that starts. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty certain the women's NRL starts around July. I don't even know. So Tyrell Sloan must have thrown the ball back. And then, yeah, they just picked it up and got out to about the 20. Blake Brayley was one who picked it up, mind you. Fourth tackle. Cameraman, you idiot. Yeah, it was the cameraman's fault because we couldn't see what was happening. Adam Fanor-Blake, he'll get the offload away to Nico Hines. Hines here at the 40. He'll give it back underneath to Jesse Ramian. And Jesse Ramian pushes off one. And now there'll be 35 metres out fit tackle. Last year, I swear he was one of the safest under the high ball. Who? Will Kennedy. So the Sharks will knock the ball on, I think. So it'll be Dragons ball at the 12, yeah. I think the trial games start soon. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I feel like maybe July is when it starts up. Mid-July or beginning of July? But no, because they have to go through, 10 rounds before September, which we're getting close to. So, obviously, we've got, as a penalty here to the Dragons at the 35. So, we've got about 2.5 months now until September. So, that's roughly 10 weeks, no? So I'm not sure. Well, yeah, so Knights play Canberra in a trial on Sunday. So it must be in the next couple of weeks that the season starts. Because isn't it 10 rounds? Or 9 rounds, maybe? Because there's 2 new teams this year, no? The Bulldogs and Warriors? Or is that next year? I think it's this year. The Bulldogs get a team, and July 3rd it starts. Okay, yeah. The Bulldogs and Warriors come in, no? Second tackle for the Dragons, and they'll be 35 metres away from the Sharks line. It's looking like it's going to be a good game. Maybe not the most exciting and enthralling of games, but it's a close game, and it's not convincing me, Sharks. It's really not convincing me right now. So Damien Cook out to DeBellin. DeBellin now 15 metres away on 4 tackle. Dogs have a girls team? Yes, the Dogs now have a girls team. So the Warriors are coming in and also the Dogs. And I think the next 2 teams that want to come in are Manly and maybe Panthers or Rabbitohs. It's one of those 2 teams. The Dragons might score. Oh, did he score? Has he scored here, King Tingia? He has actually scored a try. There might be a bunker check here, but this was out of nowhere. So it's 10-6 here to the Dragons with a kick to come. That's just come out of absolutely nowhere. The Sharks' defense is just trash at the moment, man. It is. Argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong. The Sharks' defense across the last month has been awful. So Kingitingia comes down here. Oh, yeah, he will get there. Yeah, he will get there. That's strong from him too. That's real strong because he could have easily put his arm down and then reached out for a double movement. But it is a try. Try confirmed as well. He does hold his arm up and puts it down. Big scam this Sunday. Big scam. Big, massive scam. Massive scam, Shagger. Shagger. Skimmer. Oh, boy. Warriors come back to the NRL this year. First game against the Roosters, I think. Yes. When the Warriors were in it last time, they weren't able to win before. That was when the Broncos had never lost a game. When the Warriors were in it. Going to be the first to win in the men's and the women's in the same year. No, unfortunately not, Daz. Unfortunately for you, the Titans women's team are coming in red hot. They're coming in red hot, mate. I've never seen a more red hot team in my life. Except for the Sharks, but red hot for bad reasons. Deary me, Sharks. What are you doing? What are you doing, Cronulla? What are you doing? What are you doing, you know? Flanagan puts it through. And it will be 12-6 to the Dragons with 12:40 to go in the first half. There has to be something going wrong at the Sharks inside. There has to be something internally. How are they getting this? How are they getting it this wrong? Roosters are coming. Roosters aren't doing jack. Roosters aren't doing jack shit. Not nothing. Roosters not doing nothing. But sure, they're well and truly around the group of teams. They're on the same amount of points as the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Manly Seagulls, the Sydney Roosters, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, the St. George Illawarra Dragons. But they're also, I don't know why I said the Sydney Roosters, but they're all on the same amount of points. So sure, but Roosters aren't doing nothing this year. So Dragons get this ball here to the 11. Roosters getting plucked this weekend. Okay, Brenton. Just a reminder, you are a Knights fan still. 1 win does not change that. But then again, this could be the start of your 10-game win streak. It also could be the start of a reminder that you are not a top 8 team. Not reading it. Okay, Roosters will make the 8, $3.30 load up. I'm not going to be loading up, but, do your thing, Sunday. I look forward to my 10%. So, Clemmer, he'll get this ball, fit tackle to the 42. Bring on the 10-game win streak. Can't wait for the 10-game win streak just to get knocked out in the first week or the second week of the finals. Yes, if I want to be bad, I want to be the worst. And the Titans are doing that right now. If you're going to be bad, be the best at it. Be the best at it. You really want to be bad and finish in 15th, 16th? Is a team worse than you? I want to be the best at it. People remember spoons. They don't remember when you came 13th. That's really intelligent stuff, And this is why you watch the channel, for intelligent thought processes like that. Would you rather be just bad, no one remembers you, everyone forgets you, or would you rather be the worst and everyone remember you? Now that Knights team of the 2010s was absolutely legendary. from like 2015, 16, and 17. McInnes now at the 35. Legendary. And Trindle now puts that one up in the air. Mulatalo chasing it through. And really good work from Mulatalo there. That's a fantastic tackle from Mulatalo. Oh, well, he didn't get over the line. Regardless, a great tackle from Mulatalo. Mitchell says, couldn't have said it better. Mitchell, the Tigers team over the last 3 years, you've been spectacular, mate. You've been absolutely spectacular. I've got to take my hat off to you. If I had a hat on, I'd take my hat off to you. I actually took my hat off before the stream too, knowing we'd have this conversation. That's how much I'm impressed by the Tigers the last 3 years. So fit tackle for the Dragons. They'll be at the 45 on their own side of the field. 10 minutes to go the first half. 10 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. Have I seen any monkeys yet? Olivia, I'm in Thailand and I came from India. Agra is full of monkeys and Thailand is monkey central. What do you mean am I seeing any monkeys? I've got plenty in the chat right now, but also there's plenty out here, don't you worry. We have a whole bloody temple called the Monkey Temple here in Waihin. Good offload there from the Sharks and Nico Hines. We get this ball to the 35. Monkey style is Mountain Dew. No, don't drink Mountain Dew, buddy. Who drinks Mountain Dew? You know, what are you doing with your life? Jesse Ramian at the 42, third tackle. As Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first, you're last. Yeah, well, if you come second, you're first in a long line of losers. So, I'd rather be first and being the worst. You know, quote that shit up. You can put it on a shirt, get a tattoo of it. Fair tackle, and Trindle puts that one up into the corner. That is actually a really good kick, good area. Well, there's a player who's taking him out. That's going to be a penalty, Cronulla here. That had to be a penalty to the Sharks, 100%. So they'll be 10 metres out from the line. Here's a great opportunity here for the Sharks. That is very clearly an escort. Yeah, clearly, Gutho. What are you doing, dude? You've run right in front of it, not attempting at the ball at all, and just stopped in front of where the ball's coming down. So that's like saying, have you seen any Rabbitohs jerseys outside of a Rabbitohs game? That is a great point. Brenton says, I don't think I can say my monkey joke. No, you cannot. You're like you don't get timed out for even referring to whatever you're going to say. So first tackle 4 metres out from the line. And Blake Brayley, he'll give it out. Oh, for gosh sake, Nico. It's a knock-on from Nico Hines. Oh, and the Dragons are away now. Gutho taken down to the 42 because he slipped over. Oh, my gosh, Nico, stop it. Oh, and then the Dragons get a penalty. Oh, now the Sharks playing the bin. Oh, my gosh, I can't deal with this team. Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna crash out. I'm actually nearly gonna have an aneurysm. I think I might have an aneurysm. I think I may have an aneurysm at this team. Jesse Ramey's in the bin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why do you... I can't deal with you scamming bastards. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore, Sharks. I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore, Sharks. You scamming bastards. You make me upset. You make me upset. You make me upset. Who did I tip for the next game? There is no next game tonight. Did I say Dragons upset? Daz, we all knew there could be a Dragons upset here. The issue is the Sharks are scammers. So you tip them because they should win, but they don't win nothing because they're scammers. They promise you a lot and they deliver you nothing. Richard Ty says Sharks. Yeah, the Sharks are absolutely brain-bafflingly buddy headbutting the forehead, punch in the mouth, buddy all over the shop. Dragons here, 3 metres out from the line. Jacob Little, third tackle. Don't forget, Sharks have a man in the bin, Jesse Ramian, and Jack DeBellin will score a try. I actually can't deal with your team, Cronulla. I can't deal with you. I actually don't know if I can deal watching you anymore, and I'm a fucking Titans fan. I'm a Titans fan. I can't deal watching you. Oh, you get me going, Sharks. You really do. You get me going. You get me going. You really do. So Dragons try time. Jack to Bellin. Brady Punch will be happy. Don't you just love buy-round footy? Well, there's only one game on Thursdays anyway. Take us off the ladder. Blitzy, if you lose this game, I'm taking you off the ladder. If you lose this game, I'm taking you off the ladder. I will. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. If you lose this game, I'm taking you off the ladder. I do it. Enlarge the scam at this point. Well, there's still 46 minutes to go here. There's still 46 minutes to go, but I tell you what. As he says, take us off now, please. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't deal with your team. I can't deal it. I want a public apology. I want a public apology on behalf of Cronulla. Time to turn on the goals and call it a night. 6 minutes to go here. Over the first half, it's 16-6 the Dragons, and they should make it 18-6. Jay says, I'm with Daz. No, you're not. No, you'd rather watch that MASH. You'd rather watch MASH, Jay. Come on, don't lie. Give it the times. Give it the times. So Kyle Flanagan, he will make it 18-6. Sam says, I've seen you enough. See, I've seen enough. See you all tomorrow. How this team, it just gets you going for all the wrong reasons. Re77, is there anything up to scam? Might nearly be time. I'm blocking them off the. I'm taking them off the ladder. I'm literally just blocking a name out. If they lose this game, I'm blocking them off. If they lose this game, I'll block them off. Knock knock. Who's there? Who's there? Sharks start. That is true. What an outrageously scamming team. Deary me. Deary me. Salmon and barley. Don't send it to barley. They have too much fun there. Barley's quite dirty nowadays, to be fair. Yeah, send it to barley. Don't send it to Fiji. It's too nice. Don't send it to Guantanamo. Also still too nice. Send me to Haiti. Send me to Haiti. That's what you do. Send me to Haiti. Second tackle now to 25. Scammer's being very generous at this point. Oh, mate. Oh, boy. Third tackle. You do the boxing. Yes, I will be doing the Sonny Bill Williams vs. Gal fight, yeah. I've streamed every Gal fight, so yeah, I'll stream the Gal. And I've streamed Sonny Bill Williams fights as well. Sam's a no. Yeah, but it's a nice beach. I get a beautiful beach to swim in. Knock knock, who's there? I don't want this. You know, get him out of Cronulla, though. You got a beautiful beach in Cronulla. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Kyle Flanagan to Will Kennedy, and he will get it at the 15. Even if you come back in this game, Sharks fans, you're not moving from scam. Tommy Mann for 40 months. That's a Manly fan right there. He can't even. I think that's why he hasn't dropped. I think that's why Tommy hasn't dropped Manly better than Sharks comment, because one, they lost to the Sharks, and also two, that Knights result last week wasn't great. But thank you for being a member here for 40 months and getting around the channel. Olivia says, well, 40 months with this Muppet, that's insane. As in, you're the Muppet? Yeah, no, I agree. Big agree there. Jared Ford says Saints by 100. Saints, if St. George won this game by 100, I think I'm cancelling YouTube. I cancel YouTube. So first tackle now for the Dragons, and that's not just me. I just cancel YouTube. It's done. It's done. Send the nukes. Send the nukes. Second tackle for the Dragons. Gutho now to the 45. Third tackle, the 50. 4 minutes left through the first half. Don't forget, Sharks still have a man in the bin. Still have a man in the bin. That arguably should have been a 6 again there. Fourth tackle now at 38 metres out. If the Dragons go on to win this game by like 30, you just... By the way, the last like 8 or 9 Thursday night games in a row, the upset has always happened, mind you. And yeah, I bet with my emotions. I bet with my emotions on rugby league. That's what I do. So the Dragons will get caught on fit tackle there at the 20. Nice work there from Carl Flanagan. And the Sharks will get this ball here at the 22. So first tackle now, and Sissy Vitalika will be taken out at the 25. Send them to Uzbekistan. No, send them to Dagestan and forget. Dom says put the Titans in 5th. Hey, I'm close, Dom. I am close, mate. I am close. If the Sharks concede the next try, Titans going to 5th. If the Sharks concede the next try, the Titans are going into 5th. So Braden Trindle on 4. Third tackle actually kicks down to the 15. Sonny Williams, a cat, ducked Gal until he was old and retired, then wanted to do 2-minute rounds. What a pussy. It is just a massive money grab at this point, man. It would have been great a few years ago. When it was in its peak, it was hot and firing. But unfortunately, just it's cat behaviour. Third tackle now at the 50. 2 minutes to go here the first half. Out to Gutherson. Gutherson then off to Kintagia. And Moses Sully. He'll be at the 40-on-4 tackle. The ups and downs of a rugby league season. They might not even be in the 8 after this round, by the way, if they keep it up. Fit tackle here at the 28. And they give it off to... nothing's happening here. And it's still fit tackle, lads. It's still fit tackle. Good catch there from Luciano Leilua. Moses Sully! Moses Sully! It's still fit tackle. He's offloading the ball. Can he get the offload away? No, he cannot. So Sharks with the ball here 5 minutes out, even their own line. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, Jay. Don't know what's happening there right now. Not too sure. Not a big Shaw fan of what's happening there. Minute and a half to go. Cronulla, you're something else. You got 73% of the chat voting for the Sharks. You get 73% of the people on the poll voting for Cronulla, and they're down 18-6 here with 1 minute to go to half time. Now third tackle at the 20. Blake Bradley assists for Talakai. And I'm definitely not saying this team's a second half team after what we saw last week. They had all the momentum going into that second half. Give Sonny Williams up a tyre. Why? Nico fakes a kick. Fit tackle at the halfway point. Nimbin could beat the Sharks team, I reckon. It's not a bad shout. Are you going to Perth for State of Origin? Costa, I haven't been to a single rugby league game this season. Oh, it's a knock on there for the Dragons. 33 seconds to go here of the first half. Sharks, you've been gifted. You've been gifted by the 11th place Dragons here. 27 seconds left here. They're 15 metres out from the line. First tackle. I'm in Thailand. To be fair, it's not that far to Perth. It's not that hugely... Actually, would it be... No, it's not closer. Hey, would it be closer? Thailand to Perth? Oh, okay. Well, that's just a tackle without the ball. That actually is just a tackle without the ball here. Oh, Teague Wilton's claiming a try. No. So, no try. I think that Trindle is taken out without the ball here, so it's a bin at the very least. It's a bin at the very least, because he's kicked this through well and truly too early. He's being tackled. This is going to be close, but this is definitely a bin against... Is it Gutherson? Absolutely, dude. No way! No way! He's kicked the ball, referee! Oh, yeah, Damien Cook gets the ball. But that's bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit. You can't tell me that that isn't called everywhere else on the field. Everywhere else on the field, you say the Sharks have kicked that ball, the ball is off the boot, the ball is in play, the tackle is then made late, which is a late tackle. On report for a late hit early on goal. It makes no sense that's not a penalty at the very least. At the very least. At the very minimum, that's a late hit. At the very minimum. So there you go. That's going to be half-time. That call makes absolutely zero sense there. This game baffles me game on game. But anyway, half-time, Sharks, you shit. 18-6 here to the Dragons. People are booing the Sharks. Their fans are booing them. No, but it's bullshit. Grant Atkins, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. We've ruled that he's already making the tackle. The ball has been released. The ball is 3 to 4 metres away from him when Gutherson is tackling him and continues the tackle as Trindle is trying to break through and brings him down. That is at very minimum a penalty, but it also could be classed as a professional foul. If you don't want to class it as a professional foul because there's a player in the area, which is ultimately only because of a penalty try, which it wasn't going to be a penalty try because Damien Cook was in the area, so ultimately it's a professional foul and it's a penalty. It's not a penalty try. Teague Wilton doesn't get that. I'm very okay with Damien Cook being classed as the one touch that ball. He clearly did. But it makes no sense their ruling because that will be class. We've seen Jerome Luai. Jerome Luai was penalised just last week for something that was well and truly in time, comparably what we just seen there. Well and truly in time. Gutho knows exactly what he's doing. He's making the tackle and bringing him down, knowing full well that Trindle's breaking through there. The ball has already been kicked. So Grant Atkins, you're off your rocker. Bunker, you're also off your rocker. And Sharks, you're shit. Jared Farmoney says it worked for the Knights, so maybe the booing may do the same for the Sharks. Let's hope. Hey, listen, maybe. Maybe. Ben says Gutho knew he was kicking the ball as well. It makes it even more so why Gutho can't do that. It makes absolutely no sense how that is at very minimum not a penalty. If you don't want to call it a professional foul, whatever. But it's definitely a minimum penalty. But anyway, let's get into some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. It is currently 18-6 to the Dragons. The Sharks do have a man in the bin right now. Bunker's just made an absolutely atrocious call, but are we surprised? So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Possession-wise, 45% possession of the Sharks, 55% possession of the Dragons, 15 minutes and 8 seconds to the Dragons with 12.5 minutes to the Sharks. Completion rate is 95% to the Dragons with 20 from 21, with the Sharks hitting 90%, which is 19 from 21. So both teams with unreal completion rates there. Then you go down to the attack. Runs 100 for the Dragons to 86 for the Sharks, with 968 run meters to the Dragons, 898 run meters there for the Sharks. Where if you try to equal that out, give them 14 runs for the 10 meters per run. So now it's 87. So give them 10 meters per run across 13 to 130. They're at 914. The Sharks are actually winning the battle of run meters right now if they have the same amount of ball. They are. Because they're at 914 to 968, so you add that extra 100. 100 to 89 now, 11 switch, it's 926 to 968. So the Sharks are actually winning the run meter battle, but it's just not, they're not technically on the basis that they haven't had as much possession of the ball, but it's basically even now with 100 to 90. It's basically even. So that tells you, it gives you an understanding of why I do that comparison. Post-contact meters is 314 for the Dragons, 283 for the Sharks. I think that's pretty similar. I think it's pretty similar if you give them the same amount of runs each side. It's pretty much the same. Line breaks is 4-1 Dragons way. Tackle breaks is 21-17 Dragons way. Average set distance is absolutely absurd here. Defensively, both these teams pretty poor. 46.11 average set distance for the Dragons is in the very, very good tier on the lower end. And then the Sharks are also at 45.64, which is also in the very, very good tier on the lower end. So both teams are making a whole bunch of meters in this game. You've got the average play the ball speed at 3.22 seconds for the Dragons, which is pretty fast. 3.27 seconds for the Sharks, which is also pretty fast. It's a very similar game right now. It's the Dragons that are able to put the points on. The Sharks' defense is in tatters in recent weeks. 7 offloads to 6 Sharks way. Then you've got the kick refusal for 80% for Cronulla, 55% there for the Dragons. Effective tackle percentage, I knew both teams would be under 88%. With that being said, it's not too far underneath. 87.55% for the Sharks, 86.7% there for the Dragons. So both teams are under the bare minimum, 86.64 now for the Dragons. Both teams are under the bare minimum average of 88%, but not by too much. 232 tackles for the Sharks with 21 missed tackles and 12 ineffective. That's 33 bad tackles across the first half. Not great. With the Dragons at 188 tackles made, 17 missed tackles and 12 ineffective. So that's 29 bad tackles. So both teams defensively need a little bit more. It's not drastically bad, but do definitely need some more there. Negative play, 3 errors to the Sharks to 1 to the Dragons. Penalties conceded is 4-3 against the Sharks. Ruck infringements 1-0 Dragons way, and Simbins is 1-0, even though I would argue it should be 1-1. But ultimately, a lot of similar stats there. Completion rate's basically the same. Time and possession is definitely getting back up there. The Sharks are well and truly in lead with the run meters because it's updated to 99.94 now, or 100 to 94 now, Dragons way, and yet the Sharks are up by 8 meters of 975 to 967. So the Sharks are winning that meter battle. But yeah, the line breaks and the tackle breaks. The tackle breaks are similar. Average set distance is similar. Play the ball speed is very similar. Offloads are similar. And the tackle percentage is similar. So, yeah, very similar game across the ballpark right now. Very, very similar game across the ballpark. But I'm going to run here to the bathroom, guys. I'll be back in a secondo. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe, Sharks. You are never leaving Scam. You are never, ever, not even if there is a fire, leaving Scam until you prove otherwise. Until you prove otherwise. All right, I'll be back in a second. Keep coming in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. We're back. Yes, Olivia. Yes, definitely, 100%. It wasn't just to go outside. Like what I do at halftime is I like to go outside into the warm air. Like I have the aircon in here, which is nice, but I like to just kind of breathe in the fresh air at halftime a little bit sometimes, especially especially when you're dealing with a bunch of scammers. But this round does look pretty poor. Like if you look at all the games, the game of the round that you're probably looking at, you're still on the shut up. Oh, the sniffer. Oh, I get what you mean now. Where is that actually? Shit, where is that little thing? The house cleaning came, the apartment cleaning came yesterday, and they moved a whole bunch of stuff around. It's not here anymore. Well, it'll be here. Maybe it's behind the computer over here. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's great. I love it. I love it. I thought you were referring to something else. I was like, shut up, man. Who will win Who will win, Titans or Manly Seagulls? Well, I'm not going to say my team right now. Knight Rider says, are all the underdogs going to win this round? Bloody gee whiz. Knight Rider, that happens pretty much every round, to be fair. Last round, there was pretty much all favourites. But the Thursday night game is always upset season. Like the last 8 rounds has been the underdog who have won in the on the Thursday night game. But the Sharks, gee whiz, they're just so disappointing this season. You can bring them back to Oz, by the way. We did. Well, I don't know when I'm coming back to Oz, brother. I don't know when I'm going back to Oz. But yeah, of course, they're not drugs or anything. It's just a herbal inhaler. Of course, you should be able to. Surely a herbal inhaler would be sweet. Okay, Jay needs help. We've known that for a while, but Jay definitely needs help. Still 69% of people through about 300 votes have voted for the Sharks there in that poll. Dearie me. You know, it tells you the state. It tells you the state of what we're watching right now. 69% are still to the Sharks. Listen, if the Sharks win this game, I'll be super happy for you. But I still, you're massively on scam alert until proven otherwise. You need a big win. Actually, what is the Sharks draw coming up? The Sharks draw, like again, you don't have plays out in Origin. This should not be impacting you. So you play. Oh no. Oh no, Sharks. Oh no. Next week you play the Bronx at Suncorp. Then you play Melbourne in Melbourne. You have a bye. You play the Dolphins at Shark Park and the Roosters at Shark Park. Well, that's a pretty tough run. Especially if the Dolphins are actually going to play pretty consistent footy. Remember, the Dragons conceded 56 points to the Dolphins last week. They conceded 56 points. 56 points to the Dolphins last week. You were down 18-6 at halftime to them. You know, and you wonder why I complain about you. You wonder why I sit here and I say, what are you doing, Sharky? Sharky, what are you doing? You know, you doing or you're not doing? Because right now it doesn't feel like you're doing. I'd like to see you start doing. Playing Melbourne isn't for everyone. Yeah, Mitchell, as a Tigers fan, you did find that out the hard way. Yeah, you found that out the really, really hard way. A lot of Tigers fans were telling me that they had a really good chance against Melbourne that day. Unfortunately, they've been nowhere to be seen since the old 64-0 shellacking at AAMI Park in Melbourne. When was the Tigers' last win? They haven't won for a while. Against... Oh, Sharks. Oh, Sharks. The last win the Tigers had was against the Dragons too, 34-28 at Magic Round. That's crazy, though, the last win the Tigers had was Magic Round, because since then they lost 64-0 to the Storm, 22-12 to the Rabbitohs, had the bye, 32-28 to the Cowboys, and 18-14 to the Panthers before having a bye this round. And then next week you play the Raiders. Oh, for gosh sake, Wes. Oh, Wes are in trouble, mate. Wes are in trouble. But it's crazy. So, Dragons had 56 points put past them by the Dolphins last week. The last time the Tigers won was against the Dragons quite a few weeks ago. And the Sharks currently down 18-12. To be fair, the Tigers did beat the Sharks 20-18. Oh, Cronulla. What are we going to do with you? Yes, it says if we had our Origin players, we'd be winning. Yeah, no, definitely. Sharks are probably the most impacted team from Origin. Let's go count their Origin players right now. Okay, so first off, we've got... No, hold on. No, I'm just trying to think. So, okay, so let's try it again. Sorry. So the first Origin player for the Cronulla Sharks we have. Must be just gap in my mind right now. Must be just gap in my mind. Like, I do know the whole team off by heart and watch every game, so I would have thought that I would know. But right now, I just can't. I can't seem to get a single player in my mind. Brenton says 0. Wow, that's. Is that right, Brenton? Is that right? 0. Really? It's crazy because that was the whole joke, Brenton. You know, it's crazy. Like that's it might have been the entirety of the joke there. You know, bit of whoosh, bit of like a Superman flying over the head. Bit of like a tumbleweed going by there. But second half here, starting up here for the Origin impacted Sharks, and they're down 18-6 with a man in the bin. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Actually, did the Dragons have anyone? Oh, you just thought you'd mind. Thank you, Brenton. Thank you. No, we appreciate that. Appreciate that. You know, teams like the Titans have got plenty of Origin players out. Knights have a player out. Hey, I think they've only got one. Is Ponga the only Origin player for the Newcastle? I actually genuinely, this isn't even a joke. I can't think of another one right now. Bradman Best last year, but Cronulla, you're in a world of pain, mate. You're in a world of pain. I'm in a world of pain watching you. So 45 metres out. Blake Brayley gives it out to Calhoun. A minute to go here of Jesse Ramian's sin bin, by the way. Canberra put 50 and 60 on us when they were shit. Might need some white powder to get through. No. So Tyrell Sloan will grab his ball at 10, first tackle. Is Val on the Queensland team? Yes. Yeah, the Dragons do have more Origin players out than the Sharks, and they've only got the one out, which is Valentine Holmes. Seb Watson says, is there any other team that actually don't have anyone in Origin? I think the Warriors, now that Mitchell Barnett with his ACL, I think the Warriors probably wouldn't have an Origin player unless I'm mistaken. Canberra, Hudson Young, Storm plenty. Titans plenty. Broncos a few. Dolphins a couple. Cowboys? Who's out for the Cowboys? Oh, Cotter and Robson. So Dragons hit this ball down, and the Sharks will go at the 10. The Eels, with Mitchell Moses now being injured, they're not. I don't think the Eels have one either, do they? Oh, Kate, well, you're right. Yeah, you're right, Jelly Bean. Yeah, Kate, well. So the Warriors do actually have someone. Who do the Eels, considering Mitchell Moses is out with injury, I don't think the Eels, Lomax, you're right, Brenton. You are right. Second tackle now for Cronulla. So is there actually another team that has no Origin players in besides the Sharks? Which is crazy, mind you. Will Kennedy, that's a good run. He needs to make it up for a pretty poor first half. 38 metres out, fourth tackle. Adam Frenor Blake. I'm trying to think of teams off the top of my head, so you have to kind of help me out here. So fifth tackle now. So only the Sharks. From what I'm gathering, yeah. And I think that's a knock on there from Molatalo, and Dragons get the ball here 1 metre out, but it will come out to the 10. If it wasn't for Luai getting brought in late, the Tigers would be there too, no? No, Utukamani's in the team. No, he's in the Storm now. If it wasn't for Luai, would the Tigers have anybody in? I know they're on a bye, but that's not the point of the conversation. Yeah, there we go, Brenton. Yeah, Tigers didn't until Luai got the call. But we're talking Tigers and Sharks here right now. Cronulla fans, you happy with the comparison? Oh, Molatalo with a whacking hit of Nathan Lawson. Oh, dearie me. That wasn't Nathan Lawson, but it was a whacking hit regardless. I'm still getting pumped. Wow. Well, yeah, pumped is a big word considering it's 12 points. But what I will say is that Shark Park has got to be the second least menacing ground in the competition, and that's just behind Seabus. Seabus is much more beautiful. I will say, though, I don't mind going to Shark Park. Like, I enjoy going to Shark Park. There's a bit of a vibe about it, but it's just not menacing enough. Dearden for the Cowboys. Yeah. Yeah, Dearden for the Cowboys. You're right, Becky. So, second tackle for Cronulla, and they're at the 25, then the 30. And Jesse Ramian back on the field now. Yeah, and Nene. Nene as well. Terrell May's not in the team, Hadahoni. He's not. Wasn't in game 1. He's not in game 2. Forward tackle, Manly. Well, Manly have... Well, Cherry Evans not there now. Oh, Nico Hines gets the offload away there away. Britton Nakora flicks it out. Back onto the inside. Jesse Ramian steps. He's still going. Oh no, he's flicked the ball to Grass McGrath. But Siena Katoa grabs it and it's going to be 6 again. No, it's still fit tackle with the Sharks at 30. So Nico Hines whacks that ball up into the air. It was a good run. Now Siena Katoa coming through. Oh no, it won't be a 1-on-1 strip, but the Dragons will get it to 5. Now DC's not playing. Honey, have you seen the team list? You just said Terrell May, and now you're saying DC. DC is not selected. It's Tom Dearden as a 7 and Munster as a 6. I don't think Manly does. I don't know if Manly does, actually. Can someone else confirm? Hamoli would have but pulled out for his baby. Well, would have, should have, could have. Like, I get you, but he's not there. Alright, so the Dragons are now at the 40. And King Tagia. Sharks have shown a little bit of something. A little bit of oomph in his first 5 minutes, though, which is at least a decent enough sign. Will Candy gets his ball to the 40 on first tackle. So, Nico Hines, then to Jesse Ramian. And Jesse Ramian will get this ball out here to the 45. Have you left the basement in the last 2 months, Adonai? Yeah, it's been a pretty big conversational discussion point, the old Cherry Evans not being selected for Queensland. A little bit of a discussion point. Nearly every single person's talking about it. So, 4 tackle. And now Blake Brayley will go to Braden Trindle. Trindle and Adam Fanor-Blake, and he'll get this ball to the 15 on fit tackle. Sharks are in a massive slump at the moment, man. Blake Brayley, Braden Trindle. Trindle at the back of Nico Hines. Good pass to... Oh, the defense of the Dragons has stopped the guaranteed try. I think he's been held up. Katoa's celebrating it. No, I don't think this is a try. I don't think it's a try. I think he's been held up. I thought it was a guaranteed try here, but this is good work from King Tagia. He's having a great game here with the Dragons. He just wraps that ball up. I don't think you're going to be able to see this ball touch the ground. I don't think you're going to be able to see an angle. Yeah, the ball's up there. This is going to be held up. Okay, so Hadahani, again, my friend, I don't know if you're listening right now. Who is out for Manly for Origin? Because it's not Cherry Evans. He's not playing for Origin. Getting booed by your own fans to wake up a little bit. Yeah, just ask Brenton Eslick, said Watson. Joey Leilua's brother still in the league. Lucian Leilua is in the league, Mitchell. He's playing today. So no try. He will be held up, and it will be Dragons ball at the 10. Good defense there because it looked like Siena Katoa was a guaranteed try. Worked for us. Definitely did work for you, Brenton. I'm not a fan of the old booing, but I also understand the booing. I understand it. I don't know if I could ever bring myself to vocally boo the Titans at Seabus, regardless if they deserve it, which they do at the moment. But I don't know if I could do it. I can criticise and I can complain and I can give my piece and my opinion, but I just don't know if I could boo. But again, I understand from the perspective of fans who are frustrated and angry. And don't worry, I'm frustrated and angry at my team. And the Dragons now at the halfway point fit tackle. Skidamee says, I really hope yourself well. But just to quickly say, Adam O'Brien should never have been coming out and saying what he said. That was a stupid comment from the coach. I let the media, let other fans, let anybody else say it. You shouldn't be saying it as a coach, mate. Especially when you're not very well liked. Skidamee says, I really hope New South Wales don't win game 2. Can't stand New South Wales fans. Wow, it's as if you're a Queensland fan in a 50-50 competition and you don't want New South Wales to win because you're a Queensland fan. Seb Watson says, and the coach called the fans cats, didn't he? He didn't call them cats, but he said they didn't. I think, I'm not going to say word for word, but he said along the lines of they don't know rugby league. They don't know what they're talking about. If they were booing, they don't know rugby league or something like that. Close enough. Good run on Siena Katoa. 4th tackle at the halfway point. And it's a penalty to the Sharks too. That's huge. That's huge here. High tackle against the Dragons. Brenton says, Adam O'Brien won't win back to fans anytime soon. The thing is that I disagree. And that is on the basis that fans are very, very in the moment. It's always very immediate. That's the first Sharks chant I've heard there in 10 years. Fans are always very immediate. They will Be always extremely happy when you're winning, but also extremely happy when you're losing. They'll forget about the winning moments and they'll forget about the losing moments when they're on either side. So if the Knights were winning and we're up in the top 4 and he said that, it's like you'd be pissed off, but you get over it. The issue is that Adam Bryant's not a good coach. And that is the ultimate issue. Sharks bring Nakora with a try time. Good run from Nakora, the New Zealand international. Good run. So 18-10 here with a kick to come. Brett Nakora will score. Casey says not trying to be gay, but look at Big Brother. Train's paying off. I feel a lot healthier and fitter now, man, which I've been very happy with here in Thailand. I'm going to maintain it when I go to Vietnam as well. Still got a week and a half left here in Hua Hin, and I've lost about 11, 12 kilos, which is amazing. Like I've put a lot of work in and a lot of effort in while I've been here, and it's been a great time. And finished up at the gym just before I came here. Did the HIIT workout down there. The food is very, very good, and basically when you're trying to lose weight, when you're trying to get fit, the food is the most important aspect. And we do plenty of workouts here too. So, over the next week, I'll probably put the link to Palapon there for people who want to go for it. I might even do a video on BKRtravel as well. But Palapon is a very good retreat here in Thailand. And there's not as many distractions here in Hua Hin as you'll find in Bangkok, or definitely not Phuket or Pattaya. If you go to Pattaya, you're never going to do it. You're never going to be fit. You're never going to be healthy because you're going to be distracted. Pattaya is crazy. And I would even say Koh Samui is pretty similar. So, yeah, this is kind of the perfect area to do it, mate. It's the perfect area to do it. Jay says, lost all his kilos from all the boom. You're a sick man, Jay. You are a sick man. You are a sick man. Ladyboys, look out. Shut up. Shit, there's always ladyboy comments here, man. Always. I will say, 30 minutes to go here in the game, guys. The Sharks can get the conversions. It was 18-12 into the Dragons, but 30 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. I will say, everyone always says that you can't tell in Thailand. That a lot of the time, you can't tell if they're a girl or a guy. Or a girl or a ladyboy. And here it's like it's actually acceptable to ask people if they're a girl, which is weird. It's like a really awkward and weird thing to even think about from where we're from. But here you kind of have to. But the point is that you can kind of tell. Unless you're extremely drunk. The only people who can't tell, I would assume, are just extremely drunk. Because you can still tell. I understand the whole transition and everyone changing and people actually going the full female route as a male and transitioning here. But you can still tell. The facial structure is different between males and females. In my opinion, anyway. In my opinion. Feet don't lie? Never even thought of that, Jay. Never even thought of that. Feet don't lie. Molatalo now to Blake Brayley at the 45. And the Sharks will get this ball at the 40. I do genuinely feel like if guys are going home with ladyboys, they do have a good awareness of what's happening. For the most part. I really do. So Nico will get taken out to 35 on fit tackle. Just look for Adam's apple on the voice. Wrong whiskey with E. They can get rid of it. You can shave it off. You can shave this. Man, you're going to get tricked when you come to Thailand. He caught that in the field. That's going to be taken back in goal. So it's going to be a dropout here from the Dragons to the Sharks. Good kick there. Wow. That's a great kick. That's a great kick. Guffo caught that in the infield and got taken back in. Yeah, whiskey with E. Be careful coming to Thailand, mate. They can shave that shit off very quickly. Great call by the ref there. Surely it's somewhat obvious, some features you just can't hide. I see it. A lot of other people, I guess there are ones that are close enough to being really well hidden, but you can still just tell. I don't know. It's just like a facial structure thing, in my opinion. That won't go 10, and then it does go 10. Katoa will knock it back into Blake Bradley. He had to knock it back in. No, it's going to go out. They're going to say he went in and touched there. Damn. So Dragons will get the ball at the 15. ZDT said, what not going to Seabus for half a year does to a man. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. No, he was out of bounds. Have you tried the elbow trick? Branson, I have not tried... Oh, no, it is Dragon's Ball. No, I've not tried the elbow trick. I've not tried the elbow trick. I feel dumb because I don't know what the elbow trick is. Brenton, you can be the man to let him know what the elbow trick is. So second, Brenton's been in Thailand before, so he's probably done the elbow trick plenty of times, just to make sure they're a lady boy when he's going home with them. So third tackle, he doesn't want to get tricked out and go home with the female. So third tackle now at the 20, and Jack de Bellin, he'll roll it back here little and little. Get taken down now at the 30 on 4 tackle. Not a great set here from the Dragons. Sharks have definitely been the better team in the opening 13 minutes here. Still down by 6 though. And, oh, he lose that ball? No, he's still got it. Fair tackle at the 38. And Kyle Flanagan. At least we've got a good game here on Thursday night footy. We are talking about Thailand and Ladyboys right now. But with that being said, we are still firing up here for a close game of footy. Sione Katoa, he's been bouncing away from a few tackles today. He should another few tackles. And away from Flanagan. How many tackle breaks this guy had? Whiskey with E, so I'm Thai. I don't know about this elbow trick. you're okay. Whiskey with E, you are Thai, and you don't know that Ladyboys shave their Adam's apple. Damn, my brother. Damn. When you come home, better stay in Australia, man. I agree at that point. So, good offload there from the Sharks. Blake Brayley now with the ball to Colhoun, and it'll be 4 tackle at the 24. Is May playing this week? Well, the Tigers aren't playing this week, so it's going to be pretty hard for Terrell May to play this week. Oh, they dropped it! The Sharks will score! Oh, no, St. George. Oh, no. On 4 tackle, too, the Sharks made an early kick, which made no sense. And the Dragons will drop it. It goes back, and the Sharks will score. So it's 18-6 the Dragons, but a kick to come to Cronulla tied up. Oh, no, Dragons. What are you doing? What are you doing? Have you been in Thailand before, Whiskey? Considering you are Thai, have you been in Thailand before? Surely. So Braden Trindle will score that. Brings the Sharkies right on back into it. Tie the game up. I'm guessing you have accidentally slept. Oh, no. Bloody Dragons was good fun laughing at the Sharks. I wasn't laughing. I crashed out. I crashed out at halftime. Just before halftime. I still disagree with the bunker and the referee's decision, but there was also a crash out. Because this team, so as a content creator, this would go for most content creators, I would assume. If you're passionate enough about the game, you want to get it right. So when you tip a team in first position at the start of the year, on your preseason video that every Tom, Dick and Harry does, right? When you tip a team in first, you want to at least get that pretty right. You know, who cares? Panthers third. Everyone tipped them in the top 4, and then they were close. Still could make the 8. Probably still do make the 8, to be fair. Nico Hines here, big kick, will make the kick. So it's 18-18 with 25 minutes to go. So when you tip a team in first, it's like expected that at the very minimum you get that right. Now I've got a pretty good ladder actually comparatively. If you go back and have a look at it, yes, there's some teams that are wildly wrong, like the Warriors. I tipped the Raiders much higher than what other people did. I put them in 9th. They're up there in 2nd right now. So they're well higher, but I'm also happy with that. But the point is, if the Sharks, if they disappoint and miss the 8, and I predicted them to win the comp, I punch myself in the jaw. You know, like that, it just makes you feel shit predicting something that was so wildly off as your primo at the top. So content creators who are passionate enough about the game should kind of ride home the team they tipped in first. If you tipped the Panthers in first because you went with a basis, then I can kind of understand why people aren't. And the Sharks were one of the heavyweights. I tipped them based on the Adam Fanua Blake signing. I thought they would much improve them greatly. So that's why I ride the Sharks home as much as I do, and get pissed off when they struggle. But that booing at half time seems to have helped with Cronulla, just like it did the Knights last week. Whiskey with the Knee says, yet when I was 17, almost got taken away, saved by my stepdad. Almost got taken away. Braden Trindle scored, Whiskey with the. What do you mean almost got taken away? Wait, what's happening here? We got a kidnapping thing happening here? What's happening? Fit tackle at the 38. Yeah, it was Trindle who scored. So Braden Trindle now, he'll kick that ball up. It was him who made the kick before as well. Knock on by the Dragons. And the Sharks are going to have another opportunity. The Dragons are imploding here, man. But the Sharks, it's crazy to see a team that's in 5th and who made the preliminary final last year get booed at half time. But it was justifiable considering on the fact that they've conceded 112 odd points in the last 3 weeks to the Storm, who they beat, but then lost to a 5-player less Roosters by 40, and then lost at home again to a 5-player loss to the Warriors. They lost by 40 points again. So I can understand why when you're down 18-6 to the Dragons, who lost 56-16 or whatever it was, or 56-10, that great 2 points from Nate J, 56 to whatever last week to the Dolphins. I can understand why they booed But, Sione Katoa right on through and the Dragons have imploded. And the Dragons have imploded. Sione Katoa will score. Hey, guys, I don't care who you support, boo your team at halftime. I don't care who you support, boo your team at halftime because the Sharks are back. They're still scammers, but the Sharks are back into it. The Sharks are right on back into it. Sione Katoa just walks through an awful defensive line here for St. George off the scrum. Like, it wasn't even a spectacular scrum play, which we've seen across the season from many teams. He just literally walks through the line here. Brent says, bring back the boo. Bring back the boo. Forget the biff. Bring back the boo. Titans fans, please, tomorrow, halftime. Please do it. Rocky Sports, try done, bing bong, mudder, bish. Bring back the boo. Bring back the boo. Oh, well, Sharky's back in the lead, 22-18. Give him a standing ovation instead. Well, see, this is, okay, yeah, this is actually a good point you make here, Mitchell. So the Knights, let's get this straight. So the Knights were down 16-0 to Manly last week at home, and Knights fans booed them. They ended up winning that game, 26-22. The Sharks were down 18-6 here at halftime to the Dragons. They're now up 22-18 with a kick to come with 22 minutes to go, and they booed them at halftime. The Tigers, in the first round of the season, were up 8-0 against, I think it was the Newcastle Knights, wasn't it? And they lost. And they gave them a standing ovation at halftime. So if you give your team a standing ovation at halftime, you lose. But if you boo them, they win. Beautiful. Oh, Nicho Hynes will miss that kick. Nicho Hynes will miss that kick. So it's 22-18 with 22 minutes to go of the game. So if you're standing ovation your team at halftime, you lose. If you boo them at halftime, you win. And we've got a majority now, 2-on-1. We've got 2 versus 1 to prove that point. This is the Dragons we know and love, Dom. Yes, this is the Dragons we know and love. Yeah, Katoa scored a try here. Braden Trindle scored the last try, but Sione Katoa scored this one. Case's Dragons comeback. Again, as someone who tipped the Sharks in first this year, I hope not. Second half line breaks 3-0 to the Sharks. Don't forget Titans Manly tomorrow, guys. Bring your raincoats. Bring your raincoats for that one. Gee whiz. Sharks here. Siasi Vitalikai. He'll bring it out to the 30. So if you're up 40-0 at halftime and cheer, you lose. Yeah. No, I think that is the play here, Mitchell. I do think you have to boom at halftime still, even if you're up 40-0. That's a Craig Bellamy special, to be fair. Third tackle for the Sharks at the 45 on the Dragons line. They are exhausted, St. George. They are exhausted. Blake Brayley to Calhoun. And he'll be 27 metres away from the line, 4th tackle. Blake Brayley, he'll give it out to Nicho Hynes. Underneath to Britton Okoro. He'll get the offload away. Toby Rudolph. Then up to Will Kennedy. Kennedy steps. 10 metres out, 5th tackle. 20 minutes to go here at the game. Guys, hit that like button. Subscribe. We'll be live for every single game this weekend and Origin on Wednesday. Nicho Hynes puts that up in the air. Good kick. Knock on Dragons. Sharks are going to get a fresh set of 6, 10 metres out. Fresh set of 6, 10 metres out. I don't even know why you're trying to argue that this is not a knock-on. It is so clearly a knock-on here. You've knocked it to Uzbekistan, mate. You've knocked it to Uzbekistan. They're not challenging this. Oh, they are challenging this. Am I crazy? Am I wild to think this? Oh, they're saying that it was touched by the Sharks first. Because it's definitely a knock-on of the Dragons, but they're just saying the Sharks knock it on first. And... well, that's not going to show us anything. It's just stop and start right now. Can we see normal play? Oh, okay, that's a knock-on. Yeah, so it's a knock-on from the Sharks. I thought that they were challenging the Dragons to knock it on, and the Dragons knocked it on from here to Timbuktu, but the Sharks do get a hand to it first, but it is a successful challenge. Imagine not blowing your challenge in the first 10 minutes. No, it's crazy stuff, Mitchell. No, it's really impressive stuff. As a Tigers fan and a Titans fan here, you know, we understand it. We get it. No, we understand, mate. You know, you got to throw your challenge away in the first 10 minutes. It'd be silly to keep it. Silly. It'd be silly to keep it. Everyone thought the Warriors would ever make the top 8 after round 10. Everyone had the Warriors for like a bottom 4 finish before the season started. Now, Warriors fans, I understand that you're going to have a bit more faith in your team, but a lot of Warriors fans also didn't think they'd make the 8 still. They still thought they'd be kind of trying to figure themselves out. Again, I'm pretty happy to put my hand up and say I was completely wrong. I had them second last, and then they're currently in third. I just thought the Sean Johnson loss and changing halves and all that type of stuff, and then round one kind of gave me that boost to think that, oh, maybe I was right, but Vegas is a throwaway round, man. And there'll be Sharks who grab this ball at the 15, 20, 25. Whiskey with E, as long as other legs in multi, we should all win. Whiskey with E, how much do you win? How much do you win, Whiskey with E? You know how it goes. How much do you win? Sato says, Sharks can stay on the ladder, but definitely can keep the scam alive. Oh, the scam's there! Oh, you think the scam's going? They are still scam. If they can go and get a good couple of wins these next couple of weeks against some big teams, sure. They can go off the scam alert back to fraud, but right now they're still scam. Unless they score 50 and they've still got 28 more points to do that, I can talk about it. You can't. 19 minutes to go with the game. Cedric says a tip total point for both teams, 41 to 50. Well, there's probably a few more points left in this. So you're going to have squeaky bum time for a long time. Oh, that's going to be a bump off there. No, they're going to say it's fine. Dragons ball at 10. Jelly Bean says, where did you predict the Rays would be? I put them in 9th, but I'm pretty happy with that because most people had them in the bottom 2. I put them in 9th. I did say in a postseason review last season that the Canberra Raiders are actually a lot better positioned going forward. And they had a young team that was really up and coming. Obviously, Ethan Sanders signing, that'll be in the future. Ethan Strange, they've got a great, solid back line. Their forwards are fantastic. And then Jamal Fogarty will kind of push them through. This was obviously, the Manly Sea Eagles signing. So I had them in 9th, and I'm happy with that. Regardless if they come 1st or 2nd, I tipped them well above where most people were tipping them because I could see something. I just wasn't able to go all in on them just yet. I wish I had have, but I just wasn't able to kind of go with that kind of gut instinct that Canberra were going to be better based off of my postseason review last year. So he says, I'm here in Papua New Guinea. Get around here in Papua New Guinea. We love Papua New Guinea here. They're always tuning into the channel, especially during Origin. So Molotalo, 3rd tackle. Get this ball to the 45. There's still 18 minutes left here of this game. They were down 18-6 at halftime. Blake Brayley's had a brilliant game. He's away. Oh, he should have passed it, but he gets taken out of the 25. 4th tackle. Dom says, a comeback win against the Dragons isn't going to take you off the scam status. No way. Not when they conceded 56 to the Dolphins last week. Brett Nakora kicks a 3 for himself. And Teague Wilton coming through. Tyrell Sloan might get out here. It's a good hit, and he's out. Yeah, that's really good stuff from Cronulla. Ever since the booing, they're on. Yeah, absolutely not, Sundo. Dear me. The fact that you even comment that, Dom, it's like, that's common sense. It's the most commonsensical common sense that ever did sensical. Cedric, I'm not gonna lie to you. So Cedric says, do you think I could pull his points correct? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that you're in a bit of a worry situation. It's 40 points right now. You need 41 to 50. I definitely think there's another try coming. That's going to be not 10 meters. So the Sharks are going to... are they going to get a penalty here? Is this a penalty? No, it's not. I get confused what's a penalty and what's not when it comes to this short dropout. So Sharks with the ball here at the 10. I think that it's going to be a worrying time for you because I still could see a couple of tries left in this game and a couple of tries takes you out of the 41-50 marker. But one try, sure. So 10 metres out, Blake Brayley. He'll go to the left-hand side of Nico Hines. Then on to McInnes. McInnes here to Oregon Kaufusi. And Kaufusi's 10 metres out, 1st tackle. 10 metres out here, 1st tackle. Gets off to Nico Hines. Hines off to Toby Rudolph. And he'll be 3 metres away, 2nd tackle. Blake Brayley. He goes out to the right to Nico Hines. Hines, there's a short ball there. Will Candy goes, gives it off here. Siona Katoa. And that is good defense from the Dragons. Don't forget, guys, like everyone's talking as if the Sharks are going to win this game. It's still only a 4-point game. The Dragons are still only 1 score away from taking the lead here with 16 minutes. It's just the momentum is so strong for Cronulla right now. It is just in your face, son. Bing, bang, boom. Bit of bing, bang, boom already. I still want to ask Whiskey with E. What was this? You're talking about get away saved. Did you get kidnapped in Thailand? Is that what I'm reading there? I don't know what's happening. Cedric says, I'll continue to watch and praying because I've made a big bet. Well, we get 10% of it here, Cedric. We get 10% of your winnings. So out of the right-hand side now, they give up to Gutho. Gutho then to Tyrell Sloan. Tyrell Sloan to 40, the 45. And they'll be taking down 4th tackle. 4th tackle. I just really hope the Titans give a crack tomorrow. We usually get absolutely okay. I just hope the Titans will just give it a crack tomorrow. We usually get slapped by Manly. We usually do. Actually, who's their fullback? Can someone confirm for me in the chat who the fullback is for Manly tomorrow? Is it Tom Toy is still out, isn't he? And Lee Harper-Wade was injured last week. So who have they got fullback, or is it one of those two? I haven't looked at their roster. We'll win, bro. It's okay. Thank you, Casey. Yeah, no, really reassuring, mate. I've got some great confidence after being down 28-0 last week to a scum team. So Sharks now, 4th tackle at the 45. Oh, Tom is listed. Oh, Tom is the fullback. Got to have faith, mate. I've had faith for way too long, bro. I need to see proof. So McInnes now at the 35. They may claim a high tackle here. And DeBellin put his hands up, which was kind of admitting to doing it, but sure, the referees haven't called it. Braden Trindle puts this one up into the air. Katoa comes through. It'll be knocked back here from the Sharks, and then Nico Hines will knock that ball further into the future. So knock on. Tom is back, I think. That's lovely, Dion. That's lovely. You know, Cherry Evans gets dropped from Queensland, so he'll be there. And Tom Trbojevic, he is back from injury. Beautiful. That's what you love to see, the Titans fan, because Tom does love a good Gold Coast Titans matchup. Should have been a high tackle, by the way, on the McInnes hit. Almost taken away by Ladyboys Whiskey with E. Oh, don't pretend like you went into it. Don't pretend. Oh, so your dad had to save you. Oh, so you were interested, eh? Dragons now, Tyrell Sloan, taking out the 45, 3rd tackle. So your dad had to save you from an attack of the Ladyboys. Very interesting. Don't worry, Jay. He has the attack. He has the attack. He has people trying to save him. He's like, it's all right. You know, leave me behind. Leave the soldier behind. So out of the left-hand side, Gutho. Then to Moses Sully. And Sully taking out the 30 on 5th tackle. No, I thought they were girls. Don't worry, mate. I got you. So 5th tackle here. The Dragons are at the 15. And I don't think they realised it was 5th tackle. So they give the ball away. They literally just run it into the line. Michael Cheekham isn't playing, which means you'll win. Thank you, Mitchell. Thank you. I'm really reassured now. Michael Cheekham is not playing for Manly, so the Titans will win. That's really reassuring, Mitchell. I appreciate that. I think it's a guarantee now. 2nd tackle at the 28. They are if you're drunk enough. I think that's the only way you wouldn't be able to tell. Out to... Oh, it's a great tackle from some Granis on Molitalo. And now Talakai with a great run here inside the taken after the 45 on the Dragon side of the field. It's got to be the only way. You see too many dudes going back with them here, and he's just like, oh, you know what's happening, man. I see you, man. I see you. 5th tackle. So Braden Trindle. Trindle whacks that one up. Molitalo coming through. No, he's not going to be anywhere close. Can he? Oh, the Sharks might score. No, Nico Hines gets it. Oh, that's a knock on from the Dragons. It's going to be a penalty here to the Sharks. He's offside. But he is offside. Sharks ball, but he was offside when he picked it up. Does he not? So Nico Hines tries to put Tyrell Sloan. Oh, okay, no, he got brought back on side. No, I get it. No, it's the correct call here from the referee. That's the correct call. So Sharks will get the ball here 10 metres out. So this is going to be Sharks ball. If they score here, I think that's pretty much game over, man. All right. It'd be wild if the Sharks can find a way to win this 13 plus, considering where they were at halftime, getting booed. All right, out to CSF Talakai, and Talakai gets taken down to 10. So Blake Brayley off to McInnes. McInnes here to Oregon Kafusi with a strong run. He'll be 4 metres away. 2nd tackle. 10 minutes to go of the game here, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe. We're back again for Titans Manly tomorrow. Nico Hines goes himself. He'll be 5 metres out. 3rd tackle. And Blake Brayley off to McInnes. McInnes goes himself. 6 again here for the Sharks as well. So it'll be 1st tackle, 1 metre out. 1st tackle, 1 metre out. Blake Brayley back to Nico Hines. Hines off to Hamlin Uwelli. And Hamlin Uwelli, he'll be back to the 3. 2nd tackle. Dragons defence must be tight. Well, they've given up 22 points, mate. So they're not... I wouldn't call them tight. I also wouldn't use that word as we've been speaking about certain conversation topics. Nico Hines, and that's going to be 6 again here for the Sharks, 4 metres out. Anyone know the score of Game 3 NBA Finals? I know Pacers won, but don't know by how much. I think it was... Oh, Dragons are away! Dragons are away here! Oh, no, it's a penalty. Cronulla, take the 2. It's a penalty. Cronulla, take the 2. Otherwise, Jack Bellum was away there. So it's a penalty here to the Sharks. It'll be from basically right in front. I would suggest taking the 2 to make it a 6-point game. The Dragons are going to challenge it, though. I think it was 117 to 108 Pacers were, I think. Something like that. 116 to 107. Sorry, I was 1 point off either side, Daz, mate. Please. Please. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. 117 to 108 was actually 116 107. I'm so sorry, Daz. Well, Clemmer tackles him off the ball. It's a very clear penalty. So you lost your challenge, and the Sharks are going to get a penalty from basically right in front. See, this is coming Dragons score. It's going to be hard for the Dragons to score. Very difficult for the Dragons to score when the Sharks have a penalty from in front of the sticks. Very, very difficult. If they can score on this play, I'm really impressed, actually. If the Dragons can score off the Sharks having a penalty from right in front, I've got to take my hat off and say I've never seen it before in my life. But good luck, Casey. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Are they going to even go for the 2? I think they will go. Surely go for the 2. The smart option here is to go for the 2, and yes, they will be doing that. I reckon Cedric wins his bet here. I think this is the perfect way, Brenton, because it puts it inside that 41 to 50 category at 42 points, and then a converted try keeps him inside. I think this is the perfect thing for Cedric. Cedric, we're not going to get too crazy, too hyped just yet, but this penalty here brings you inside the 41 to 50 marker at 42, and a converted try will still keep you in at 48. You might be on here, Cedric, mate. You might be on here, champion. Hits the post, Dragons get around for a try. Sundo, what's this black magic? What are you doing? What are you doing here, Sundo? Nico Hines will get the conversion. Doesn't hit the post for a Dragons try, so the Sharks will be up by 6 points. Oh, we've gone too early, Brenton. Converted try for the Dragons would be 24-24. So that'd be 48. And then if there's a try to win the game instead of a field goal or a penalty goal. Maybe we've gone too early. But usually you don't see tries in extra time. Usually you don't see tries in extra time. All right, 6-point game with 8.5 minutes left. Comment in the chat. Do you think the Dragons have the ability to come back? Or is it... Oh, Dragons knock it back! And they get the kick. Oh, no. It's a penalty, Cronulla. Why? What? 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 Did that ball not break the plane? I swear it did. That broke the plane by like 2 meters. Bro, Grant Atkins, you're off your rocker. Bro, Grant Atkins, you're off your rocker. That definitely made 10. Oh, no, referees. So it's a Sharks penalty now at the halfway point, and now they're at the 35. How do you get that wrong, man? We could all see it. Every man in his dog could see that that had gone 10. The Dragons got the short kickoff as well. They got the ball back. That makes absolutely no sense. So McInnes now to Oregon Gafusi, and he'll get this ball inside the 20. It'll be 18 metres out, second tackle. That's a rough call against St. George because that was their chance. They would have had a fresh set of 6 inside the attacking half and down by only 6. Now if the Sharks score here, that's just outrageous. Dragons fans have a reason to complain about that. McInnes here, he'll be 3 metres away from the line, 4 tackle. Blake Brayley goes himself, that's game over. No, it's a penalty. Oh, it's a no try. What's he called? Oh, he didn't play it square, otherwise it was game over because he would have scored under the post. And then it would have started getting nervous for old mate. We can only hope that Grass McGrath finds the ball a few times in play. Well, Grass McGrath has been a little bit active today. Nothing too crazy, though. We haven't seen Grass McGrath really kind of knuckle down 3 points in this one. I would say Blake Brayley gets the 6 points it is. And I think he might be able to jag a point, maybe 1 point. But this has been a rough game for Grass McGrath. The completion rate has been spectacular here from both these teams. You know, the team stats, it's 88% here for the Sharks and 90% for the Dragons. Grass McGrath just hasn't done enough. He just hasn't done enough here today, mate. So you got to stop really, circle jerk and grass McGrath. You got to start being realistic here, mate. You got to start being realistic and not giving points where points aren't deserved. And grass McGrath didn't deserve them today, unfortunately. Dragons now. Flanagan. Gutho crunched by Talakai. Get India, baby. Get India. What don't the Dragons have a reason to complain for? That's a good point. Their team is frustrating. That's a great kick from King Tagia. And wow, Sione Katoa. Oh, dude, if he wins the game off this, that's fantastic. Katoa gets around. Well done, Sione Katoa. He's won that game off an absolutely spectacular play just then. He's won that game off a spectacular play. It's 28-18 with a kick to come to the Sharks. They will get the conversion from us right in front. King Tagia kicks the ball through. It's actually a really good kick, but Katoa slides in underneath, doesn't knock the ball on, and then just picks it up and runs the length of the field. Well done. 28-18 with a kick to come to make it a 12-point game. That is game over. But I actually think that what King Tagia did just then, I was about to start saying he's had a great game, and he has had a great game. He even scored a good try in the first half, but unfortunately that it just hasn't worked out for him there. Unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out for him. Richard Production says, "G'day BK, been a while since I've been on one of your streams. Go Sharkies." Yeah, you're on scam. You're still on scam. This game doesn't change the scam right there. You're not fraud alert. You're worse than fraud alert right now. You're on scam. But if you go and win one of your upcoming games, now I know you've got a tough schedule coming up, which will prove to me that you're back. I tipped you first for a reason, and you're scamming me right now. You're scamming me right now, but a win against the Dragons doesn't take you off that. You have the Broncos next week at Suncorp, then Storm at Amy Park, a bye, Dolphins at home, and Roosters at home. If you can jag at least 2 wins of those, out of those 4 games, I'll take you off scam, and you'll probably be off fraud alert. If you can beat the Storm and the Broncos, you'll not even be on fraud alert. If you can beat both the Broncos and the Storm away from home, I take you not only off scam, but I take you off fraud alert. We do have a tough run now. All right, well, 4 minutes to go here in the game. It is about to be a 30-18 ball game. Broncos Sharks will be a somewhat good game, both pretenders at the moment. Well, one's on fraud alert, one's on scam. So you're right. You're right, Sondo. That's play of the night. Yeah, I've still got Blake Braley as my man of the match, though. And Nico Hines will convert the 2. So with 4 minutes to go here of the game, it is 30-18 to Cronulla. Bad record of Suncorp and Amy, which doesn't help for the next 2 weeks. Sure, but you did beat Melbourne a few weeks ago. I don't know if you've played the Broncos yet so far this season, but you did beat Melbourne a few weeks ago at Shark Park. Still conceded 26 points, though. So the biggest issue here is that the 14 points against Manly, whatever. 26 points against the Storm. 42 points against the Roosters. 40 points against the Warriors. And 18 is getting up there against the Dragons. So in your last 4 games, inclusive of this one, with 4 minutes still to go here, short kickoff from the Dragons will go backwards. It's Sharks ball, and Nakora will be taken down to the 40. First tackle. So that's that. Okay, let's go through and tally that up. So that is 26, 42, so 68, 108, and then today is 126 in your last 4 games you've conceded. That's awful. Like that is awful stuff. So it's like you've taken on the Dragons today, who had 56 put past them by the Dolphins last week. You'll take the 2 points. You're back into the winner's circle. You needed it drastically because you could have dropped out of the 8 this week if you didn't win this game, and you were looking bad at half time. But you need to fix the defense, which was the second best defense in the comp last year, and was the second best defense, basically equal first for a lot of this year. So Sharks now fit tackle at 30. So Sharks kick this ball out to Katoa's side, goes up, ball bounces off the Dragons, but Gutho will grab it at the 8. Blitzy says, "Richie, we're winning the comp." Blitzy, in the first half, you were trying to tell me to take your team off of this table. In the first half, you're trying to tell me to take your team off of the table. Blitzy, you like... Oh, shit, that just turned off. Blitzy, that light going off just then proves my point. Proves my point, mate. You're like that Warriors fan, Highlanders fan, who says that he's only a Warriors fan when they're playing at home games. Deary me. Dragons, they flick the ball out left, and King Tagia taken down at 35. What is the Storm record at Amy Park? Well, they lost to the Dragons this year at Amy Park. Or was that last year, sorry? No, I think they lost at Amy Park. No, was that at Cogra this year? I know they beat the Storm. The Dragons beat the Storm last year at Amy Park. Sharks here at the 15. 2 minutes to go here at the game. That emoji was completely necessary. You're off your rocker. Will Candy. Oh, he nearly had a running rampaging Nico Hines breaking through a hole. Blake Brayley taken down to the 40 on third tackle. Sharks' last leg is Katoa for a try and 13 plus, and Mulatala to get a try, but plenty more legs to go. Unfortunately, Mulatala's probably not going to score, but Katoa's had a great game here today. Oh no, Sharks knock on. So Dragons will get the ball here 35 metres away. They can't really win this game, but they have a chance to bring it back to a 6-point game. Now, you're still scam, Blizzy. You're beating the Dragons, mate. You're beating St. George here. St. George, at the end of this round, could go into third last. They could have gone equal fifth. With a loss, they could go to third last. You got to prove yourself next week. Suncorp Stadium. And if you don't prove yourself next week, you got Melbourne Storm away. Before a bye, and then you play the Dolphins and Roosters at home. Correct, Cedric. So what you don't want is a Dragons try right now. Minute 19 to go here of the game. Dragons with the ball to 40. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. They go out to the left-hand side. Jack to Bellin. He'll be the 30. It gets the offload away. Damien Cook. And Damien Cook will get... I nearly said score. We'll get this ball to the 28. Jack Lewis says, what happened second half? Are Sharks playing well or have Dragons gone in self-destruct? Dragons with $1.40 at half-time. Bit of both. Dragons were awful, but the Sharks have been really good since they were booed at half-time by their fans. Jack to Bellin now. He'll be taken down at the 10 metres. 4 tackle. 48 seconds to go here. Dragons, they're close. Squeaky bum time, Cedric. Scary times. Jake Little gets it out. Flanagan, 5 metres away. 5th tackle. If the Sharks can hold out here, you get up. They kick it through. Play that. That's going to be Sharks ball. And that should be the game. That should be the game right there, ladies and gentlemen. 24 seconds to go of the game. So the Dragons next 5, they're going to bye next week. Then they play the Eels at home, the Raiders away, the Roosters at home, and then the Bulldogs away. So also a pretty tough run for them. Besides the Eels, Raiders away, Roosters at home, Bulldogs away is a tough run. So Dragons, your top 8. Your top 8 starting to get real worried. Real big worry. How much do you win, by the way, Cedric? That's not even banter. I'm just asking. Just asking. So there you go, guys. Sharkies come back from 18-6 down at halftime to win 30-18. Look, they're not coming off scam because it was only the Dragons, but they'll take the 2 points. They'll be happy with the 2 points. They've had a really tough couple of weeks against the Roosters and the Warriors, so they needed this one really, really big time. Really, really big time. And, you know, they take it, man. They take it. So, guys, that'll do us here for today's stream. Again, tomorrow we'll be live for the Titans and Manly game from Seabus Super Stadium. And then on Saturday, we've got 2 games we'll be live for. Knights versus the Roosters and the Cowboys versus the Dolphins. Before Sunday, the big game between the Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs. But there we go. Appreciate you for tuning in. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Get amongst it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See you.